Everyone is a consumer, and as consumers, we all have the right to be heard.
In Nigeria today, as a consumer, you have all right to product information, right to fair pricing, right to return goods, right to product labeling, right to fair dealings, and a lot more.
Well then, have you heard about the new media channel?
ConsumerHallaTV.
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 At ConsumerHallaTV, our goal is to inform and educate consumers in Nigeria with insightful news alongside development within the fast-paced world of consumers through well-researched, specialized, and analytical content.
Our vision at ConsumerHallaTV is to create an engaging platform that provides right connections for meaningful brands in Nigeria, thus creating a more caring world for consumers where business thrive.
And guess what? Our ConsumerHalla brand is the first consumer complaint resolution portal in Nigeria, powered by a 72-hour feedback mechanism. We offer consumer advocacy, informative talk shows, branding promotions, advertising, and lots more. Connect with us via our YouTube channel at ConsumerHallaTV. Follow us on our Facebook page, ConsumerHallaTV, our Instagram page, ConsumerHallaTV, and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscription is free. ConsumerHallaTV. At ConsumerHallaTV, you deserve to be heard.
At ConsumerHallaTV, you deserve to be heard.
Hello and welcome to News at 8 on ConsumerHallaTV. I am Iremofe Kofoworola. And now, let's begin the news. Nigeria exported an estimated 182.2 million barrels of crude oil worth 24.02 trillion naira in the first half of 2026. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria show total crude production reached 263.65 million barrels valued at $25.41 billion. Higher global prices lifted revenues despite local refinery feedstock supply concerns. The figures were derived using monthly average daily production and burning light crude prices. Production started at 45.26 million barrels in January. It fell in February and recovered through June. Monthly export value ranged from $2.65 billion to $5.67 billion. Elevated international crude benchmark prices significantly boosted national earnings throughout the 6-month period. Export volumes tracked output closely across the entire half-year review. Shipments reached 31.31 million barrels in January before dipping in February and recovering steadily through May and June. The financial windfall strengthened foreign reserves despite ongoing operational challenges within the domestic petroleum downstream sector. Nigeria's fast-growing digital economy faces a major challenge as operators work to convince consumers that online platforms are safe. Microsoft Chief Security Advisor Carissa Verma warned that consumer trust is now critical infrastructure. She noted that user confidence will determine if digital expansion is sustained economic growth amid rising cyber security threats across financial networks. A study by the Global Anti-Scam Alliance revealed 84% of surveyed Nigerian adults encountered scam attempts past year. 22% suffered financial losses, while only 4% reported incidents to law enforcement agencies. These findings underscore significant challenges surrounding regulatory enforcement, digital safety, and consumer reporting mechanisms. Businesses, commercial banks, and technology firms must now embed cybersecurity into their customer experience strategies. Protecting user data is vital to prevent loss of consumer confidence and maintain growth across the nation's digital ecosystem. Sustained investment in defensive infrastructure remains essential for long-term sector development. In another development, Vice President Kashim Shettima, World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and Professor Patrick Lumumba have arrived in Asaba for the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori received the delegation at the Asaba International Airport. This summit aims to drive economic transformation, boost investor confidence, and foster strategic business partnerships. The Senior Special Assistant on Media to the Governor, Osai Success, confirmed the arrivals in an official statement on Sunday. Vice President Shettima will address attendees on how reforms under President Bola Tinubu's renewed Hope agenda unlock commercial opportunities. His speech will highlight clear pathways for private sector investments across key state assets. The event brings together government leaders, international investors, and development partners to explore investment potential in Delta State. Discussions will center on infrastructure, agriculture, industrial growth. Our recommendations from the summit are expected to shape future regional economic policy and private sector engagement. Trading on Nigerian Exchange Limited ended mixed for the final week of July 2026 as profit-taking dragged key indices lower. The All Shares Index fell 0.84% to close at 245,283.68 points. Market capitalization decreased to 158.326 trillion naira. Despite the weekly retreat, market turnover surged to 404.762 billion naira across 5.119 billion shares traded. The financial services industry led activity, accounting for 3.918 billion shares valued at 271.428 billion naira. The services and consumer goods sectors followed in activity. Sectoral performance was largely bearish through the premium insurance and sovereign bond indices managed marginal gains. Analysts note that the overall market sentiment remains positive, supported by a strong year-to-date return of 57.62%. Robust liquidity continues to drive investor participation across high capital equities. The federal government has agreed to supply United States dollars to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery in exchange for naira proceeds from domestic petrol sales. Management sources revealed the arrangement aims to resolve foreign exchange shortages, preventing the refinery from paying crude suppliers. The intervention follows challenges with the initial naira for crude supply agreement. Under the initial framework, the refinery was to receive 13 million barrels of domestic crude monthly, but received less than 35% of the allocation. Consequently, the company imported crude using foreign exchange while settling refined fuel locally in naira. This dynamic exposed the refinery to significant foreign exchange risks running into billions of dollars. The government's commitments will ensure the refinery receives adequate foreign currency to sustain crude purchases and maintain operations. Easing foreign exchange pressures on the plant is viewed by energy market experts as critical for national fuel supply stability and local pricing predictability. The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board and the Bank of Industry have launched a $100 million equity fund for indigenous energy firms. NCDMB General Manager of Corporate Communications Obinna Ezeobi announced the initiative in a statement. The fund provides long-term equity financing up to $5 million per company. NCDMB Executive Secretary Felix Ogbe inaugurated at the Inaugurated Investment Committee in Lagos. The facility aims to reduce service costs in the oil sector, generate board revenue, and attract external investors to viable indigenous companies. Beneficiaries include oilfield service providers, fabricators, and equipment manufacturers operating within the domestic energy space. By offering equity financing instead of traditional debt, the initiative helps local service companies expand operations without heavy interest burdens. Management stated the fund will strengthen domestic participation, increase local capacity, and support long-term growth across Nigeria oil and gas supply chain. Moving on, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited recorded a cumulative profits after tax of 2.275 trillion naira during the first half of 2026. Operational report released on Sunday showed that elevated global crude oil prices driven by Middle East geopolitical tensions significantly boosted the state's oil farm revenue. Monthly performance rebounded sharply in June, with profits after tax reaching 535 billion naira. This represents a 15.8% increase over the May figures. The June earnings marked the highest monthly profits reported by the National Oil Enterprise since January 2026, reflecting strong operational recovery. Geopolitical confrontations in June raised global supply disruption concerns, lifting crude prices and national revenues. Although monthly performance fluctuated across the half year, sustained oil prices supported overall profitability. The state oil company continues to focus on production stability to maintain revenue growth. Nigeria mobile telecommunications sector recovered to its highest subscription level in over 2 years, reaching 189.4 million active lines in May. Data from the Nigerian Communications Commission showed this as the highest figure since April 2024, following previous declines caused by SIM cleanup exercises. MTN Nigeria maintained market leadership with 96.9 million active subscriptions, representing 51.19% market share. Airtel Nigeria followed with 65.4 million connections, while Globacom and T2 recorded 23.4 million and 3.5 million active lines respectively. The subscriber growth reflects steady recovery in the telecom markets after regulatory deactivations of unlinked SIM cards. Leading operators continue to invest in expanding network capacity to meet rising demand for digital services, voice calls, and high-speed mobile broadband nationwide. Mobile money transactions in Nigeria grew by 81.26% to reach 372.14 trillion naira in 2025. The Central Bank of Nigeria annual report showed transactions volumes processed by mobile money operators rose 65.77% to 28.74 billion. The Central Bank attributed the surge to expanding agent network, digital solution advances, and industry collaborations. By the end of 2025, Nigeria had 84 licensed payments service providers, including key operators such as OPay, PamPay, Paga, InTransact, Shams Mobile, VT Network, HungerPay, and Fortis Mobile Money. Broad retail electronic payments also grew 26.07% to 3,458.77 trillion naira. The rapid growth highlights as accelerating digital adoption and financial inclusion across urban and rural communities nationwide. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture has opened applications for a $150 million offshore expansion facility. NASIMA President Jani Ibrahim unveiled the digital application portal during the Infrastructure Conference 2026 at the Afrexim Tower in Abuja. Developed with German banking group Odeo BHF SE, the facility provides long-term financing at single-digit interest rates for business modernization. The launch was led by Working Group Chairman Wahid Olagunju and NASIMA Digital Economy Coordinator Segun Olugbile. The portal digitizes foreign investments origination for local businesses. Funding will prioritize manufacturing, agro-processing, energy, logistics, and transportation, with 20% reserved for the digital economy. Qualified companies can access financing starting from $10 million. Olagejun described the project as a transparent pipeline demonstrating international investor confidence in Nigeria economy. To wrap up news at 8, MTN Nigeria has eliminated its foreign currency loans and positioned itself for a new network expansion cycle. Chief Financial Officer Modukbe Kadri confirmed that first half 2026 results showed retained earnings nearly doubled while shareholders' equity strengthened, ending reliance on foreign debt and reducing currency risk. The operator invested over 620 billion naira during the first half of 2026 to increase network capacity, broaden coverage, and expand home broadband. Chief Executive Officer Dr. Karl Toriola stated the result reflects sustained investments in digital infrastructure supporting the national digital economy. Clearing foreign obligations protect the company balance sheet against foreign exchange volatility that previously impacted earnings, with financial stability restored. MTN Nigeria plans to accelerate capital expenditure to improve service quality, extend reach, and support expanding mobile data usage across the country. You've just watched news at 8. Do not forget to subscribe across all our social media platforms on Facebook, X, TikTok at ConsumerHalla. To get more updates, join us at 10. I am Iremofe Kofoworola. Thank you for watching and good morning.
Hello consumers, you have the right to be heard, absolutely. So join us on the conversation, share your brand experience, where you tell us all your experiences about brand on the outer world via our YouTube channel every Wednesday from the hour of 4:20 to 5:20. You can watch us via our YouTube channel ConsumerHallaTV, and subscription is free. Follow us on all our social media platforms, ConsumerHallaTV. Share your brand experience. It's about storytelling. It's about experiences.
Hello consumers, you're welcome to another exciting episode of Consumer Voice on ConsumerHallaTV. I am Matilda Omenai. As you already know, Consumer Voice is a show where we'll be visiting different places in Lagos to check out people's preferences, hear what the consumers have to say about different leading brands that they make use of.
Hello, it's your boy here, Iremofe Kofoworola, and you know what? They call me the AWUF General Overseer. Every day is a blessing and it is meant to be enjoyed maximally with AWUF packages that put a smile on our faces. And guess what? That is why this show AWUF is for you. You can get to know about trendy market slashes, promos, offers, and juicy deals that put a smile on your faces, and you can always enjoy them maximally. And you know one thing that is so interesting about this show? It is a blend of English and Pidgin. As I dey run you English, now I go dey marry am with Pidgin, make am spicy. So catch me every time on the show to enjoy more about trendy AWUF packages.
Public service announcement. Hello consumers, I am Kikelomo Ajibola and welcome to the Scam Alert segment on ConsumerHallaTV. Scam Alert educates viewers about various scams affecting consumers. We learn tips on how to identify fraudulent activities and provide advice on protecting our personal information. We aim to raise awareness and empower viewers to avoid falling victim to scams. We cover various topics such as phishing, identity theft, fraudulent investment schemes, and many more. You want to catch up on how these scammers invade our lives? Join us every Tuesday by 12:30 p.m. for Scam Alert on our YouTube channel at ConsumerHallaTV. Subscription is absolutely free. And in case you're not following us across all our social media platforms, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok at ConsumerHallaTV. Don't say I didn't do anything for you this year.
Behind the scene of Nigeria's most vibrant market, from the sight and sound of the market to the stories of the people who makes it thrive, we will be sharing the untold stories that brings this market to life. Join us as we explore the history, challenges, and triumphs of the market vendors. We will dive into the daily lives of the people who call markets home and uncover the secret that makes this market special. You will get to see the passion, energy, and dedication that goes into making this market success. Tune in to the In the Marketplace on ConsumerHalla TV on Thursday by 11 a.m. to experience the sight and sound. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handle on ConsumerHalla TV. I am Elizabeth Abefe.
Hello fellow consumers, are you looking for a program where we give analysis about brand and a program where we project the voice of the consumer? Join my team and I on Consumer Analytics and Resolution Box by calling on the program to get your issues resolved.
And in case you are wondering where Consumer Analytics and Resolution Box will be showing, please join us on our YouTube channel at ConsumerHallaTV. Subscription is free by 2 p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. every Mondays and Wednesdays. Consumer Analytics and Resolution Box will be airing and will be here to provide you any information on brands and also issues that you have pending for us to resolve. Also follow us across all our other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok at ConsumerHallaTV. And that is why at ConsumerHallaTV,
you deserve to be heard. Hi everyone, I am Iri Ayomikunle Eke. Join me live on Perspective every Mondays to Friday from the hour of 9 to 10, where we have meaningful and engaging conversations about all the burning and pressing issues making the round. Issues related to our economy and consumers. It's conversing, it's relatable, it's beyond interview. We have expert analysts who gives updated analysis about all aspects of a conversation. Join the moving train by subscribing to our YouTube channel, ConsumerHalla TV, and do well to follow us on all our social media platforms, ConsumerHalla TV. Stay informed. Thank you.
I am Matilda Omenai. As you already know, Market Today is the show where we visit different markets across Nigeria, Lagos, to check out the prices of different things, ranging from household items to foodstuffs to cosmetics, electronics, every other thing.
In a world of hustle and bustle, entertainment keeps us alive, and that is why at ConsumerHalla TV, we ensure you enjoy all around 360-degree entertainment program. Screen Time is the show for you, where you enjoy top 5 countdown, celebrity of the week, exclusive interview, and other segments.
Don't mind him, he's just a jealous person.
Oh,
His new movie release, updates, and screen time. I'm going to enjoy myself because this is my favorite time on the program. I get to recommend good movie for you, and I'm also waiting for you to recommend movies to me also in the comment section. Screen time is not just all about entertainment, it is relaxing and also educational. So that is why we are bringing to you Screen Time on ConsumerHalla TV. And in case you're wondering where to join us every Mondays by 5 o'clock p.m. at ConsumerHalla TV on our YouTube channel. Subscription is very, very free. And in case you have not followed us across all our social media platforms, please do so. We are begging you, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also TikTok at ConsumerHalla TV. What are you waiting for? Click on that follow and subscribe right now.
And from the I to the R to the E to the M to the F to the E, my name is Iremofe Koforola, the man always clothed in wealth and strength.
And I am Kikelomo Ajibola. Toodles!
Hello consumers, welcome back to another episode of Market Today on ConsumerHalla TV. Now, looking good is a major part of the Nigerian culture, whether it's to work, church, events, parties, and everyday outings. Looking good, being fashionable is a major part of our daily lives. But with inflation affecting the cost of goods and services, many Nigerians continue to wonder how expensive or what does it cost to be fashionable in today's economy. Interestingly, we have been to Oshodi Market last year and we asked about the prices of clothing materials and fabrics. And today we are back again at this market to ask the same question. What is the current prices of clothing materials or fabrics in this market? Today we are asking the traders if the prices has changed, and if it has, how wide is the margin? We are also asking them if the consumers are still buying in the same quantity as before, and how are they coping with the harsh realities of staying fashionable in Nigeria's economy. My name is Pisunweke and this is me on Market Today for ConsumerHalla TV. Come with me guys, let's go explore. Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
How are you today?
Fine.
All right. So can you tell me your name?
Mrs. Adebayo.
Mrs. Adebayo. What do you sell in Oshodi Market?
We sell lace, fabrics. We have lace, polish. We have jacquard. We have voile. We have cord. We have atiku.
Okay.
We have gele. We have everything.
You have everything. You have anything
Fabrics.
Okay, so let's talk about the prices. You know, based on the types that you've mentioned polish, you've mentioned cord, you've mentioned voile. Let's talk about the prices. How do you sell them?
It depends. Low quality, high.
High quality.
Yes.
Okay, so
We have-
low quality. Which one is low quality? Which one is high quality?
It depends. We have one fabric, low quality, medium, and high.
Okay. Is it for each of the lace?
Everything.
Everything. Okay, so let's start with polish.
Okay.
Can you tell me the price for the low quality, the
we have-
medium, and the big
The
quality?
low quality starts from 20k.
Okay.
We have 35, 40. We have 60.
Okay.
The largest one we have 120, 150, 200, 300.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's move to the voile. How do you sell? You know, big quality, small quality,
The
medium
low quality from the voile is 25,000, 30. Medium 40, 55, 60.
Okay.
High quality 150, 200 upward.
So they are still in the same price range.
Yes.
Okay. What about cord?
Cord, we have different. The medium 15, 25, 35, 50.
Okay.
The medium from 50, 100. The biggest one 150, 200.
150, 200.
250.
Okay, so let me ask you, which one do your customers buy more? Which one do they like more?
The medium.
The medium for any of the lace.
They prefer the medium.
They prefer the medium.
Ones are not equal,
Yeah.
but mostly the medium.
The medium. Okay, so let's talk about where you get your supplies from. Where do you get your supplies from?
Supplies from Ibadan, Oshogbo, Ilorin,
Okay.
Abuja,
Okay.
at times Port Harcourt,
Okay.
Ijebu. You know Ijebu people. they
like to party.
like Ewambe, so
Yeah.
we have them very well.
You have them very well. Okay, so let's talk about, the Nigeria's economy and last year and this year. Will you say, let me ask you, the first one is, has Nigeria economy affected your business? Will you say Nigeria's economy
in
has
a big
affected
way,
your business?
it's very, very affecting in a big way. But we still manage. We don't have anything to do. This is our work. We can't say because of economy we run. We can run.
You can't run.
We still manage it. We
Yeah.
keep on managing
But would you
it.
tell me in that big way? You've mentioned that it has affected you in a big way. How?
No customers. People are saying because of those Boko Haram and they can't travel down to Nigeria, to Lagos.
Okay.
And even they will say, just send me the small one. So people are not doing party again, no. Just send the small one, then we'll send it to them. But at times we still see the mediums.
Yeah.
But it's affecting.
It's affected. Okay, so you said that compared to last year, the prices has it changed? Has it
Last
gone
year
high
is
or is it
much
stable?
better.
Ah,
Much better. 101, when you say 101 better than this year 0.0 point.
so this year, let's talk about, is it
why I
January from
said
January
when you see
or maybe
point-
2 months ago?
When you see 0.0, do you know the meaning? 0.0, that is
It's
it's
very
not
bad.
even it's bad.
Wow,
But we still manage.
it's still managed.
Because we don't have anywhere
to go. Okay, so talking about managing, how do your customers react when you tell them the price and they're like, "Oh, it's too high. The price is too high. I can't afford this." How do you make sure
They
still
know
buy
this
from you?
economy now, that this is how it is now. Exchange rate is affecting. So there's nothing we can do. They accept with us. And the one we are selling 25,000 last year, we sold this year 30, 35. But they accept because they want to sell to their customer too. So there's nothing we can do. They manage with us. We manage with them. So
Okay, so let me ask you, is there a particular season where you sell more than a regular day?
you don't have any season again. No season again. We have to have season before. But now,
There's no season.
no season again. Because this exchange rates, Nigeria economy, all those things is affecting in a big way.
It's affecting.
So we don't have any this thing again.
Okay, you know, you've been mentioning exchange rates. It has been affecting your business. How has it affected your business?
That one
Is it
has
the
been
price of it?
affecting before this year.
Okay.
But now we think the exchange rate is even better now.
Okay.
Because it stands. It's not going up. It stands.
Okay, so it's stable right
now.
now.
It stands now. So, but there's nothing we can. It's still affecting.
It's still affecting.
Yes.
Okay, so my last question for you. I believe you know about the increase in fuel prices. So we say that transportation costs, you know, fuel costs has affected your business.
Everything based on this transaction. Still based on this transaction. So it's affecting. It's even before last year, we can say the exchange rates or fuel or transportation, everything has low management.
Yeah.
But now, it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good at all.
All right, thank you so much for your time, ma.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
All right, can you tell me your name?
My name is Miriam Alabi.
Okay, Mrs. Miriam Alabi.
Yeah.
What do you sell in Oshodi market?
We sell different type of fabrics, sequins, sample lace, and dry lace, small dry lace.
Okay, so I'm going to point at some and you're going to tell me the types here. Okay. What type is this?
This is dry lace.
This is dry lace?
Yes.
Is that dry lace too?
Yes.
Okay, the ones we have inside, they are sequins?
Yeah, sequins and sample lace.
Okay, these are sample lace?
Yes.
All right. What about this?
They are dry lace.
Dry lace. Okay, now that we know the types of fabrics you have in your shop, let's talk about the prices. Okay. Let's talk about this dry lace. How much is it? How do you sell?
We sell 2.5 per yard.
Okay.
Can I bring it and show you? Okay, and it's by 60.
2,500 naira per yard.
Very nice and durable and affordable.
And affordable.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the sample lace.
Okay.
How do you sell?
Sample lace, we have the one of big one and small one.
Okay, so the sample lace, how much is it? How do you sell?
5,000 per yard. The big one. And the small one, 2,000 per yard.
2,000 naira per yard. Okay, so I need you to, educate me. What's the difference between sample lace and dry lace?
Sample lace is very soft.
Okay.
And transparent, but dry lace is hard. As in the texture is hard.
Yes.
It's
okay, so is sample lace
flexible.
the same thing as cord lace?
No.
It is different.
Yes, cord is different.
Cord is different. Okay, so let's move on to sequins.
Okay.
How do you sell sequins? How much do you sell? Do you sell it per yard or?
Yeah, we sell all this cut per yard.
Okay, you cut per yard.
We have the small sequins and big sequin. The small one is 2,000 per yard. The medium one is 2,500. The big one is 3,000 per yard.
Okay, so 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 naira per yard.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about where you get your goods from. Where do you buy from?
We go from Aba.
Okay. Okay, you get your supplies
I have supplier in Aba. I have supplier in Lagos Island, and we have Oyinbo that used to do distributor for us. That used to distribute. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the economy, Nigeria's economy. Okay. Would you say that Nigeria's economy has affected your business? Has it made the prices of your supplies of your goods to go high, or the prices are stable?
It really affects it too. It's not stable. It's go high, it come down. That's it.
Okay, let's talk about it going high, coming down. Last year I was here and people complained that the price is high, it's not stable, it has increased. Okay, so I want you to compare last year to this present moment. Will you say there's a big difference between last year's price and this year's price?
Yes, there's a big difference. Last year is more than this year. It's come down small.
Okay, so it's better this year than last year.
Yes.
Okay, so But how do your customers, what do your customers have to say to that? You know, when they come to buy and they're like, oh, the price has reduced from last year to this present moment. So how do they react to that?
They're happy about it.
They're happy about it.
And even though if they used to come, they will still ask before they buy that they come down again. So we have to tell them it's still the same price.
Okay, so let me ask you, is there a particular season where you sell more than a regular day?
There is so.
Tell me, because the way you answered me, Seth, you have ginger.
Yes, now during that, we are selling clothes.
Okay.
Although we sell, but there is a particular day that we sell more. That is during festival time, like Ileya time. That's Muslim this thing.
Festival, yeah.
And then December time. That's the best time.
You enjoy sales during that period.
Yes, December is the best.
It's the best.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, ma.
Good morning too.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
All right, can you tell me your name?
My name is Kubrat Jami Olabisi.
All right, Mrs. Kubrat. Okay, so what do you sell in Oshodi market?
We are selling Ashoke.
Ashoke. All right, so let's talk about the different types of Ashoke that you have here.
We have many types.
So let's talk about them.
This one is 80,000. We have big one that is 20,000. We have loom 40,000. We have Jawu is 40,000, 35. We have Kente. Kente is 40,000 naira per bundle.
Kente, okay.
It's 40,000 naira.
Okay.
Per bundle. This is Jawu. This is Jawu. This is the colors.
Okay.
The Jawu is 30,000 naira per bundle. That is the last price. We are selling it sources price. Okay. This one now is big one. We are selling it 20,000 naira per bundle.
Per bundle?
Yes.
So which one does your customer ask for the most?
No one that we are not selling. We are selling big one. We are selling small one.
So in this shop now, which one is the most affordable Ashoke we can find in this shop? And which one is the most expensive Ashoke we can find in this shop?
It's this one. It's 40,000. It's loom.
Loom.
Yes,
okay.
We are calling it loom. This is loom.
Okay. It's 40,000 naira.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about, where you get your supplies from. Where do you buy your supplies from?
They are supplying us from Ilorin.
From Ilorin?
Yes, Iseyin.
Okay.
Ghana people. We have Ghana people that they are supplying us.
Okay, the Ghana people are the ones that supply you, Kente?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about, the prices compared to last year, because we were here last year. Yes. Now let's talk about the prices of today compared to last year. Will you say that the prices has gone up? Is it the same thing or it has changed?
No, last year we said the small one 6,500. Now we are selling it 7,000 naira.
7,000 naira.
Yes. The big one last year we said it 15,000. Now we are selling it 20,000 naira.
Okay, so what about this loom? How much did you sell it last year?
Last year we sell it 25,000 naira.
But now it's 40,000 naira.
Yes.
Okay, so what are your customers saying when they come to buy from you and they've seen that the price has increased? How do you make them still buy from you?
We are explaining for them because they don't have choice to buy it. We are explaining that everything is cost now.
Everything is costly now.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about season. Is there a particular season where you sell more than a regular day? So lọ́jọ́ kan tó jẹ́ pé like yes, okay.
It's God know that one, no. We cannot predict.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
We can't predict. It's God knows that one.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Hello, good morning, ma.
Good morning, sister.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, so can you tell me your name?
Omowumi.
All right, Mrs. Omowumi. All right, so what do you sell in Oshodi market?
We sell Ashoke, Sego, and Damask.
Okay, Ashoke, Sego, and Damask. All right, so let's talk about the prices. The Ashoke, how do you sell them? The Damask, how much is it? The Sego, how do you sell?
We have Damask. Damask is 150,000. That is for 5 years. This is 150,000 for 5 years. And we have Ashoke, big one by 90. That one is 20,000. And we have the one of 12,000. We have the one of 8, and we have the one of 7. The Sego is 20, 25, and 30.
Okay, so can we just see the one you're calling Sego? It's ingenious to me. Okay.
No, we call Sego.
Okay.
This Sego, this Sego.
Okay, this is Sego. So between this Sego and Ashoke, which one do your customers ask for?
The boats.
Both of them.
The boats, because they are using the boats.
Okay. So let's talk about the economy and how it has affected businesses. Do you think Nigeria's economy has affected your business? Has the prices of your goods gone up, or are they stable?
No. The economy of Nigeria has affected both in Ashoke and in Damax, because this now, before we used to buy it for at least, let's say, per one let me just calculate per one. Before we used to buy it like 6,000, 7,000, but from now we are buying per one for 12,000, 13,000 and 14,000. And the price of this, before we are buying this 20,000 naira Ashoke, we used to buy it for 9,000, but now it's 14, 15, 16.
Then you
so
sell it for 20.
Well, we sell it for 20. So
what about the damask?
Damask is 150. That is for.
But
that is
let's
Damask.
talk about how much it was before. How much
Damask before should be there. It was between 70 to 60.
So
but now it's
in price.
Even times 2 and more than times 2. Because it was 60, 70, but now it's 150.
So all these changes, was it between last year and this present moment?
It was between early last year to this year, sure.
That was when the price just changed. Wow. Okay, so what are your customers saying about, when they come, how do you talk to them? How do you come to a middle ground? When they come
just feel like, when to when, at least we still came here last year or 2 years ago, but we don't have choice. We have to approach them well. We are sorry, it's not our fault. It's the fault of the people doing it, this and that. So that is how we wish to tell them.
That's how you talk to them.
That is it.
Okay. So where do you, talking about, the supplies that you have here, where do you get them from?
We get them from Iseyin, Ghana, and Ilorin. That's where we get them from.
So do you know about the recent the increase in fuel price?
No, I don't know.
So you are saying
I don't buy fuel.
Because you don't buy fuel. So you are saying that
I'm not using it.
So what you are saying now is it did not affect your business in any way.
It affects, because if they come now, if we say how much is this now, last week, 2 weeks ago, there are some goods that they brought, we still bought them for between 6,000, but they are outside now, we've not even checked it. They are saying they are going to sell it for 6,500 and we are selling 775. So when we ask, they say fuel is cost, this and that. So I don't buy fuel, so how will I know if the fuel is cost or not? But I used to hear fuel is cost. So,
okay. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Hello, good morning.
How are you today?
I'm very fine, thank you.
All right. So, can you tell me your name?
Oh, my name is Chioma Okorori.
All right, Miss Chioma, right? Yeah. Let's talk about what you sell in this market. What do you sell in Oshodi market?
We do sell beaded lace and sample lace.
Beaded lace and sample lace?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's talk about the prices. How do you sell? Do you sell based on type? Are there different types?
They are on different ranges, though.
Okay.
We have different ranges. We have the one of 10 upward. We have the one of 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 50, depending on the one you want.
Okay, depends on the one, the person. Yeah. So between the beaded lace and the sample lace, which one is more expensive?
The beaded lace is more expensive.
So what is the price range for that?
The beaded lace, we have, that is one of 10, 15, 20, 35, 50, okay, depending on the one you want.
Okay.
While our sample lace, we have the one of 7, 5, 6.
Okay.
But 5,000 is our list.
The list price.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about, where you get them from. Where do you get your supplies from?
Our supplies, we don't get it in Nigeria, though. Okay. It's outside Nigeria.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about, the economy, inflation, and how it has affected businesses. Would you say that inflation, Nigeria's economy today, has affected your business? Has the prices gone up, or is just still the same?
No, the prices has gone up, though. Let me say this year was better than last year, because our prices
Our prices for this year has increased than last year though.
So what are you saying? Is it last year is better than this year, or this year is better than last year?
Last year was better than this year.
Last year was better than this
Yeah.
year. Okay. Talking about last year being better than this year, was there a particular period when the price was better last year, or just all through last year the price was okay?
Like, I'm going to say the inflation of prices of last year was better than this year though.
It was better than this year. Okay. What about beginning of this year to this present moment? Has your price changed at any point in time? Consider the seasonal period, the Easter period, the Eid al-Fitr period. Did you increase price, or was it the same thing? Has it been the same thing from January up to this moment?
Yeah, it has been the same.
So you would not change price?
No.
Okay. So how do you, talk to your customers, or how do you get to a middle ground with your customers when you tell them the price and, they react and be like, oh, the price is too high, the price has gone up. How do you get them to still buy from you?
Though we talk to the customers lovely, like we joke with them. Apart from that, we joke with them to let them know that this price is so amount too. It's not for you guys to pay, because we are going to pay our staff from the whole thing. We are going to pay our shop rent, NEPA bills and other bills. Expenses are there, so we have to let them know that this is what we do. That is why the money is like this. We added some other things. We need to pay shop bill and other things, you understand?
Okay, so my last question for you, would you say there's a particular season where you make more sales compared to a regular day?
During the festive season.
You make more sales?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
All right. So, can you tell me your name?
My name is Deborah.
All right, Miss Deborah, right? All right. So, can you tell me what you sell in the Oshodi market?
I sell fabrics. I sell Ankara. I sell Georges. I sell crepe. That's what I sell.
That's what you sell. All right. So let's talk about the materials that you sell. Are there different types? And if there are different types, how do you sell based on the types?
Ankara, for instance, is of different grade. There's big, there's small, there's medium. But what I'm into is just big Ankara.
Big Ankara.
Yes.
Okay, so how much is the big Ankara that you have here?
Let's say from 12,000 upward. You should be able to get any design that you like.
Any design. Okay, so is it a fixed price, or you're open to negotiation?
I'm open to negotiate. That's if you're buying in bulk.
Okay.
Yes, and the negotiation is not much. Okay. The price difference is not really much, because the prices has changed.
It has changed.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the other materials you have here. You said you have George, you have crepe.
Georges for brides.
You sell what?
Indian Georges for brides.
Okay.
That's if you're doing ceremony. It's not even a more ceremony. Just if you just want to change your look or anything, you can come for Indian George.
Okay, so how much is Indian George? How much is crepe?
Indian George, it starts from the one you will like mostly. It starts from 30,000. So from 30,000 to 250, 300. You should be able to get what you like and what you can afford.
All right. What about crepe?
Crepe, the general price is 11,000, 10,000.
11,000.
10,000.
How many years is it? 6 or 5?
4 years.
4
for
years.
crepe.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about where you get them from. Where do you get your materials from?
Mostly from Cotonou. Yeah, mostly if you're trying to get a big fabric, they are imported from Cotonou.
So would you say you are a wholesaler? Do you supply to people in this market?
Yeah, I supply. I'm a wholesaler.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the economy and how it has economic inflation and how it has affected businesses. Are you saying it has affected you?
A whole lot. Before, like for instance, now if you're selling at the rate of 11,000, at least you should be able to see enough profit. But now, to be very fair, your profit is no more than 500, 1,000 for 6 years. So it has changed, and you don't have any choice than to sell it like that, because if you don't sell, there are other people in the line that are already ready to take your customers. So that's it.
Okay, so marginally, how wide will you say that the margin is from last year's price to this year's price?
For Ankara business, I won't really say the price change. It's still like that, but for for other fabric like the George, the crepe, the price changed. It changed a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so when you tell your customers about the price, and definitely they would react. Okay, so how do you come to a middle ground with them when their reaction, when they've given their reaction? How do you come to a middle ground with them that you ensure that they still buy from you?
At this point, everybody understands that the business itself in Nigeria has changed. Everything has changed. So before, you can just tell your customer the price. If they like, they buy. If they didn't like, they do. But now, you have to pet your customers. Like, you pet them, you explain things to them. If it's to beg, you beg them that they should understand that Nigeria, everything has changed, and they understand. Okay. At least if you ask from me, if you go to other vendors too and you ask for them, you see that the price is still the same. You still come back to me and buy because I'm not giving you price.
Exactly. Okay, so would you say that your customers are still buying in bulk as before, or they're not really buying as much?
Not really, to be honest, to be fair. Like for instance now today, on a normal Tuesday, I don't sit down like this in the markets. Me that I know myself. But you just have to take it the way it is. Market, everything has changed, to be honest.
Everything
has changed. Everything.
Okay, so let's talk about the most expensive and the most affordable material in this space today. So how much is your most affordable material in this shop? 11,000 naira. And how much is your most expensive material?
35,000 naira.
35,000 naira. Is that Ankara or India?
It's Ankara.
Ankara. All right, so we've talked about last year and this year price and comparing it to this year's price. Let's talk about the beginning of this year to this present moment.
Not even beginning of this year. Welcome, Auntie. Let's go far back from when I think all these things changed, because one thing about Ankara, that if their prices are changing, it's changing 1,000, 15. Okay. Let's go far back to Buhari period when all these things started. It's the prices, because before we sell Ankara for 6,500. Yeah. 6,500, 5,000, 5,500. You are able to get something you would like, but now from 11,000 upward. That's how. So you can see the way it changed.
Okay,
from
so my last question for you: would you say there's a particular period or season where you sell more than a regular day?
With Ankara period, no. It's an everyday something. That's what I'm saying. On a Tuesday, even most times when you sell, it's mostly on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is half day, so we leave Thursday. Anyhow, we see Thursday, we collect it. Okay. Then Friday, Saturday. So Ankara is an everyday thing that you know that yes, you definitely sell, but things have changed. So you just have to take it the way you're saying market. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Hello, good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
All right. Can you tell me your name?
Mrs. Adebayo.
Mrs. Adebayo, what do you sell in the market?
Ankara clothes.
Ankara
is only Ankara clothes.
Okay. So let's talk about are there types of Ankara? Are there sizes?
Yes, there are different type of Ankara.
Okay.
We have big one, we have small one, we have medium size.
Okay.
We have was. So I suggest any one that you want.
Okay. So let's talk about the ones you have in the shop today. Which size? What type do you have in the shop today, and how much do you sell them?
I have big one. All these CCC has big one. Yeah. We are selling it for 12,000. Okay. I have wax. Big one. 11,000, 12,000, different price. This one medium size, medium night targets for 4,000, and we have small one, 3,000.
3,000 naira.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you. Looking at the economy, looking at Nigeria's economy today, would you say that the economy is favorable to your business?
No, it's not favorable to our business. So the business is very dull now. Since morning now, I just sell market. Since morning that I've reached here now, since after 8. Now I just open market. I just sell one cloth today. So this year is even harder than the last year.
It's harder than last year.
This year is terrible.
Because when we were here last year, you mentioned that things were, were not that good. And then coming again this year, you are still saying that things are not that good.
That last year is even better than this year. We even see there's no market.
There's no market. All right, so would you say that your customers are still, saying that your customers are not really buying as before? Let's talk about how you come to a middle ground when they price. So how do you ensure that they buy from you when you tell them the price and they say it's too high?
The price is not too high. We are selling the normal price. Even Ankara, you cannot cheat in Ankara. I don't talk of Guinea or lace, but Ankara have fixed price. Everybody already know Ankara because of Owambe, party. Yeah. So most people know the price of Ankara. You cannot cheat. Even the gain that we are seeing in Ankara is too small than any other business. 500, 200, 300. That's how we used to sell it.
Okay, so where do you get your goods from?
We are buying it here now. We know there's China people in Oshodi here, so they used to supply us.
They supply you.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so talking about, we've mentioned last year. Let's talk about the beginning of this year to this present moment. We've had the Easter period. We've also had the Eid al-Fitr period. So, do you think you make more sales during seasonal periods, or the sale is just the same?
We have more profits than season price, but after season everything will just dry. Not much, but just manageable.
It's just manageable.
Manageable, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank God.
So how much does it cost to stay fashionable in Nigeria's economy today? Hello consumers, hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Market Today on ConsumerHalla TV. And today at Oshodi Market, we've been able to know that however fashionable you want to be depends on your budget, your taste, affordability, and how well you can cope with the harsh realities of inflation in Nigeria's economy. And as consumers try to stay fashionable, they also try to stay more deliberate with their spending, while traders try to find ways to keep their businesses afloat. It is not over, but until the next episode, you can find us on ConsumerHalla TV on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and X. My name is Pisunweke, and this is me on Market Today for ConsumerHalla TV. Until the next episode, bye for now.
Hi people, my name is Mo Fakorede and I am a filmmaker and a film director, and you're watching Consumer Alla TV. Consumer Alla TV is everything consumer advocacy, consumer rights, everything that has to do with consumers. On this TV, you'd watch, you'd learn, you'd be educated, and you'd be entertained. Keep watching Consumer Halla TV.
My name is Olubukola Ozone, a photographer and a social media enthusiast. You're watching ConsumerHalla TV. It's a consumer advocacy TV. If you have a problem, anything, any consumer related problem, just holla at them, just like their name implies, and they're going to get it sorted for you. Keep watching, stay tuned. Thank you very much.
Hi guys, my name is Joba Jalabi. I'm a marketing communications professional. I currently lead marketing at Flash Change, a fintech startup. Keep watching ConsumerHalla TV, a consumer advocacy channel.
Hello, my name is Sharon Rotimi. I'm an actor and I am on ConsumerHalla TV. Now, ConsumerHalla TV is a consumer advocacy channel. So if you have any issues, consumer-related issues with brands and services, you can reach out to them and handle it or to cater to you. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, my name is Iyebiye Adeto. I'm a film poster designer and illustrator. This is ConsumerHalla TV. It's a consumer advocacy channel. We show content on consumers-based news, entertainment, and all of that. So I urge you guys to stay tuned to ConsumerHalla TV.
My name is Anoluwapo Alao, a sales consultant for Star Times.
It's a beautiful Monday morning, the first working day in the month of August. Happy New Month and welcome to your favorite breakfast show on your consumer-centric TV channel, ConsumerHalla TV. Good morning, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. And Perspective is a conversation where we discuss all pressing and burning issues making the round. This is the program where we examine the issues shaping the world through informed analysis and expert insight. I am Irihayo Mikole, aka it's so good to be back again here. Month of August will be our best month of joy, happiness and fruitfulness. Now let's move into it straight up. The Middle East is once again at the center of global attention. Recent military exchanges involving the United States and Iran, growing regional tensions, concerns over maritime security, and renewed diplomatic efforts, which have heightened the fears that the conflict could expand beyond its current scope. For a country like Nigeria, the implications go far beyond foreign headlines. Rising geopolitical tensions can affect crude oil prices, inflation, shipping costs, food prices, investment, and even the national security. So this morning we ask, can diplomacy still prevent a wider regional war? Or is the international community running out of options? Joining us to examine this development is our guest, the respected global affairs analyst, Ejike Okpa. Good morning, Mr. Ejike Okpa. It's so good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Month.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's 3 o'clock Dallas time, 9 o'clock your time.
All right, it's so good to have you, and Happy New Month to you, Mr. Ejike.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now let's begin the conversation about the crisis happening in the Middle East, because this issue is very, very tricky, and the issue that is happening right there has many layers. But if you are going to look at the end of history, it all started, the major escalation started on the 7th of October 2023. So now, to understand the root of this issue, to begin, help us understand the current situation and what events have brought the Middle East to this critical point.
Well, if you want to roll back the tape and look at, the Middle East crisis, I don't think, anybody can, put a finger on the exact cause of what is going on. Jesus was born and died over there. For the believers, he rose 3 days after and went to heaven, and then Muhammad, on the other side, in Saudi Arabia. So, but then those two religious figures have become flashpoints, for all kinds of stuff. The Muslims, the Christians, they people make pilgrimage to Israel, to see the Holy Land, and then the people go to Saudi Arabia, run around the stone, and Muslims too. But the point is that then Israel, got created in 1948. After what happened with Nazi and the World War II, and then that just kind of added more salt to the injury, or added more fuel to the fire. And then since 1948 to date, the tension between the Palestinians, the Israelis, the Lebanese, the Iranians, supported people in Lebanon, uh, hasn't died today, hasn't died. You know, so this idea of love that never hasn't grown amongst them. So with Iran, supporting the people, their support, because they said they want to eliminate Israel. One of the Israeli state and the Israeli people have to be eliminated. Hasn't settled with the Israelis. That's why, America that was responsible in creating Israel, and then it becomes U.S. I would say most reliable or dependable ally. Gets American support, and then so the Iranians have just taken it upon themselves to be the arbiter of what happens in that part of the world. Uh, because and then even their geographical location, the state of Tammuz, because the state of Tammuz sort of like just into their border space, making it impossible for people to pass without, the approval of Iran or the support of Iran, create this tension with their neighboring countries that need to use that to move their oil. So, all of that, sentiment of, hate and hatred and, not loving their neighbor, not finding grounds to live peacefully is what has created, this tension. And when a tension like that exists, what do you have? You have a siege mentality. People are not happy. It's like you go to sleep with one eye open and, always watching who is going to attack you. Are you going to attack somebody? And then of course, when something happens in one part of the world, it's going to grow its own tentacles and start affecting. You're going to get sympathies. There's nothing. Even when Jesus was being crucified, there are people who loved it and there are people who hated it. So there's nothing. There are no saints here, just stains. And then it's harder to convince people that evil is evil because some people look at it differently. You could see what is going on in Nigeria, the killings of Christians and Muslims and the abuse by the political people. And some people think it's okay. Some people say, oh, I'll give him time or I'll give them time. So that is the whole thing. And so the Middle Eastern thing, I don't think I have a magic wand. I don't think anybody does. Every president, every world leader they stepped up thinking that they have the solution, and then we get a temporary, feeling and excitement. And at the end of the day, we still go back to fight each other. And for me, as a person, I don't like drama. I don't like saga. I don't like to see blood. I don't like to see people suffer. So when things like that happen, I just shake my head and said, if God, our God that gave life to every living thing on earth, is He not watching this? You know, or is it just like, hey, this is all your problem, you deal with it, with the die and come back here, decide on the judgment. So, I always say, like you say in America, more power to you. It's not happening in my neighborhood. I'm not waking up and thinking, oh my God, there's a bomb is going to land on my street because somebody don't like me from Iran or from anywhere where those people are. So America is doing what America does, good or bad or indifferent. America has got to step up. Just imagine if we don't have a country like America, the world will be more chaotic. And as much as America wants to say, "Hey, let's all live, let's all get along," it can't force people to love you. It's all human nature. Just look at even the tribal tension that exists in Nigeria. And these are people that look like you just because they have a level of being from this tribe or being this really, having this religious identity. Look at what it has cost. Even within families, when you have polygamous families, or people from the same mother and father, they still, so that's just what nature is. But for me as a person, I like to give my personal example when I talk about stuff like this. I don't like a fight. I walk away. I just say, you know what, you all can have it. So I can have a peace of mind and I can have my blood pressure go the way it wants to go. But some people just love the fight. They just love the agitation. So I don't know. We'll see what happens as the days go forward. Looking backwards doesn't do anything. History is as good as you can make use of it in order to look forward. But if history is going to make you look backwards and make you miserable, who cares about that? I don't care. I don't cry because Jesus was crucified. I wasn't there. I don't care the story, all this other stuff. I don't care about slavery. They did it to us. I don't care about colonization. They did it to us. I'm looking at what are we doing to ourselves today. If you're crying that white people came in and did something to you, what are you doing to yourself today as black people, as Nigerians, as Igbos, Yoruba, Efik, Shekiri, whatever? That's what I want to see. Not because, white people came here and did it to us. Tell me what you're doing to yourself. That's to change what you think happens to you. That is my story, and that's how I would like to look at life.
All right, interesting. And thank you for taking us back to where and how it started in the 90s. And just like you said that you do not love saga, you do not love fight, you do not love drama, you do not love blood. And a lot of people do not subscribe to that too. And for this to end, we have to tackle the issue as it is present right now. We know that the United States and Iran remain central to this development. And we know that the US and Iran just had military exchanges not quite long. And we know that the other countries, in this region are tensed currently as we speak, and the ships in this area too are not safe. So how significant is the current level of tension compared with previous confrontations?
Well, I mean, it's plus and minus. It's plus and minus. Every pain has its own feelings. Some people react differently. Some people take it differently. So I don't know. I can just, as human as you and everybody else, how much information we have and how we interpret that information also comes with a lot of things: education, exposure, objectivity, fairness, and stuff. But we look at things happening to us. If it's happening to our family member, how do we take it when it's happening to somebody who is not a family member? When it's talking to somebody who is so far removed from us? That's just how the human being is programmed. But my point is, when certain things happen here, you become resilient. You wanna self-preserve, because self-preservation is the first order of business. Even when you're in an airplane, what do they tell you if things has to go bad? Secure yourself before you secure the child. So that is just human nature. If you're not strong enough to secure yourself, how are you going to be helpful to somebody? So the economic challenges and pressure is going to be the same thing. There was never a period in the history of human beings that is documented as we have 100 years of nothing going on. It's always been there. You just have to, again, put up your guards, be suspicious, look at everybody, and because what are they coming to do to you? Even in marriages, you know what I mean, saying for better, for worse, and everybody's happy with. When all the guests go home, then the husband and wife have to deal with their own issues. So sometimes those issues make them want to go reach out to somebody else and start talking about themselves, and they're not. Anytime you inject third party into a two-party issues, it grows exponentially, and at that time it's like the cat is out of the bag. What are you gonna do? So apply restraint is an aspect of life most people don't know how to do. But you remember, somebody's going to want to see you fighting, and they want to sell you weapons. Say, hey, you don't have to put up with this stuff. You gotta fight. And then you said, okay, fine, I'm going to fight, but then you don't have the weapon. I will sell you the weapons. So have you ever looked at it? You see, most poor people, poor nations spend money fighting each other because somebody's exploiting them. Somebody's taking advantage of them. That's when you come and say, I don't need this. I don't want this. Let's put a stop to it. Because, every leadership's supposed to work towards saving life. But then some people don't want to save life. They want life to be, they want people to die.
Mr. JK, absolutely, this is a whole lot. We know that the ceasefire in one place does not stop attack in another. And if we see the situation of things, we can see that the trust rate between both the US and Iraq is very, very low. But there are several regional actors, including Israel, the Gulf states, and proxy groups, are involved in different ways too as well. So how do these competing interests complicate the diplomatic solutions to this pressing issue?
Diplomatic solution, you cannot be diplomatic with yourself. You got to be diplomatic with somebody else. No fight today exists with one person alone. So some people have that mental fight and they commit suicide. But, there's always, like I said earlier, two-party conflicts can become multi-party conflict. It goes from bilateral to multilateral because they are actors. There are going to be people that want to infiltrate, and there are going to be people that want to tell you don't have to do this. There's an ego factor with dealing with international relations. And that ego factor sometimes makes people want to do some crazy stuff. America, yes, we can see our president, we can see him get behind the microphone and in front of the camera and say the things they say. But when it comes to this other country, for instance, let me just limit my example to Iran. When it comes to Iran, who is speaking for Iran? How many times have people seen, the so-called supreme leader talk about? He's in hiding, so you have these many factions. Iran is one of the most fragmented country in the world. Even though they step on the walls, they can say, "Oh, they are Persians, they are smarter people than everybody." I've always shaken my head. Just like when Nigerians say they are smart people, but you're not running a smart country. Okay, Iranians, if you say you are smart, how come your country is the worst to run country in the world? So it has nothing to do with smartness. What you want to talk about reasonableness. If you go into negotiation and you insist that everything you want is what you're going to get, then you're not a negotiator. You're just somebody who is ready to fight, and it doesn't matter whether you have been trampled, you have been stepped upon, you're still going to fight. Just like somebody on the floor and they're still screaming and scratching. Oh, we're going to get you, we're going to do it. So I'm always about the reasonableness of your end and about being very cognizant of your resources and your ability to stand up and be dignified. Iranians are not dignified. You know who speaks on their behalf. And they get this, what I call, lousy 2x4 opinion that they ask. The Persians, they've been around. And I always say, anybody who says that, just like even when the Jews come in and say they are the chosen ones. And I said, God didn't create any human being to be unchosen. So I fight those sort of expressions and I say it louder. I say, I'm a chosen child of God. I don't even go through all this other through Jesus Christ, our Lord, or Muhammad. I go straight to God. So when people have come up with, phrases to talk about how, they are better or they're superior, I don't subscribe to it. Again, back to the gist of this conversation is that, diplomacy works when two people want to take advantage of it. But if it doesn't exist. You cannot be diplomatic with yourself only. You gotta be diplomatic with somebody else. Just like again, in a family unit, you and your wife, you and your husband and your children, that's a core unit. How are you dealing with them? Because oftentimes there are tensions in those relationships. And then how do you manage it to keep everybody looking forward, to keep everybody feeling sense of belonging, and then we making the best effort. Remember, none of us is going to be 1,000 years old. What we have done on Earth can be studied for that length of time. Just like when people talk about Jesus died 2,000 years ago. I mean, Jesus, I heard that when I was a child. I'm way into my 50s and 60s, and I'm still people are still saying 2,000 years he died. I said, can it be 2020? It's always stuck with that 2000. Again, these are things, narratives people have conjured to make people feel a certain way. I said, I don't care about those things. I care about the human being that has a definite time on earth, and that definite time comes at a time and we are going to exit. But the thing is, what have we done with the time God has given us? Have we spent all that time fighting each other, being miserable, being wicked, trying to undermine everybody? And when in time you're doing it, you're also undermining yourself. Remember, anybody who is wicked, who wants to kill you, is already killing themselves because they're planning it. It's their mind. It's their mind is twisted. And then they now attack their victim, and then they feel that, oh yeah, we're doing it. But they are the one that have already victimized themselves before they victimize somebody else. So, I love to have this conversation more like a beer parlor chant, but my point is I'm very territorial. I defend my territory. I guard myself. I've said this on your show many times. If my neighbor's house is on fire, I stand behind, between the boundary of my house and their wife. Make sure I have water hose to put the fire out if it's going to extend to my side. I don't fight for somebody who don't want to fight for themselves. I don't cry because somebody's crying. Because sometimes you do it, and the person begins to take advantage of your emotional support, and then all of a sudden you get drawn into a drama you are not prepared to deal with. So I self-preserve. I am self-centered, but I'm not selfish. I try to have a sense of reasonableness in my conduct, but I am not going to be. No matter how people love you, when somebody's being buried, nobody jumps in that grave and say, "Cover me with them." You cry and step aside to, have that sense from the family to the community to this region, to the country. Protect yourself, defend your territory, and do it with honor, and at the same time, do it with a sense of reasonableness.
That's a very interesting one, and I believe with you about what you said, that diplomacy works when two parties want to take advantage of it. Now, looking at the situation of things as we speak right now, a lot of analysts have made some conversations into the air, and many of these analysts said that, and they also gave their warning because they said one miscalculation could trigger a broader conflict. So do you agree to this, and how real is that risk? What's your take about this?
Well, I mean, it's like when you drop a bomb, it hits the spot and then it spreads. So yes, everybody around Iran, and just watch it, and they've been watching for since what is their name? Israel got created in 1948. You can do that math. That's 78 years ago. So they have constantly lived with that sense of seed. And then, of course, if you don't, like I say, it's a fire thing. If you don't contain the fire at the spot, at the spot where it's happening, you're going to spread. So, yes, the analyst and whomever is doing this, it's not a rocket science something. It is, yes, can we contain this? But again, there are people who just want to urge you to keep fighting. Again, I give the person in the relationship of a man and a woman. When things are going on in your family, and then you run to your in-laws, on both sides, or you run to your pastor and say, "Pray for me, tell me." All of a sudden, you have just exposed what is going on. I tell my wife anytime, if we have any issues and both of us cannot resolve it, then we go our separate ways. I am not the person that goes to the pastor, the pope, the bishop, or anybody to tell them about my situation. I learned this from childhood. I don't go to a pastor. I don't want a spiritual leader. I contain my fire. And I've been successful containing my fire because nobody can come into my home. My home is my country. Nobody can come into my home and dictate to me how I can deal with my wife or my children. I have that individual responsibility, and I hold it there. Not even my own parents, not even my own friends. I don't discuss certain things. because I want to protect my integrity. And the way you protect your integrity is to be credible and be honest about your situation and engage the source of your pain. If the source of your pain is your wife, or you say, no, on this is what is going on, what do you think we need to do? If they say, let's go talk to a pastor, I say, I don't want to talk to a pastor. The pastor is not here for me. Nobody prays better than me. Let me just put that as a diversion. Nobody. I don't believe in these men of God or women of God. I can pray. I have my brain works. I communicate straight to God. So that's how I take my life. And how I take my life is, if I were to be president or governor, that's what I'm going to deal with. I want to confront what is confronting me and not run to a third party to say, oh, please help me do this. No, maybe a child can do it, but as an adult, you claim and you own your responsibility and you resolve to get an end to it. And that's when you have peace. When you are able to solve your problems, given what you know, you're going to be the first person to, be at the blunt of a failure of a success. And so nations haven't done it because there are third parties. There are people who want to sell you something. I mean, look at how much money Iranians have been spending to do whatever they are doing. But then you look at the life of Iranians and say, is it worth it? Even Israel, but again, of course, Israel is a wealthy nation because of the support they get from America. And why they are doing that? They're developing technologies. What technology has anybody bought from Iran? What? Because they have devoted their time just to be defensive and offensive, to attack anybody who don't agree with what it is they are thinking. So that is my take. Again, I'm happy to live where I live because I am not watching the sky to see whether a drone is coming in to hit my building or somebody's going to bomb my car. The Iranians, you don't see their supreme leader because he cannot afford to be on a communication gadget because he can be traced and then they're going to bomb it, just like they took out the supreme leader within hours of this conflict starting. I think they're still very angry about it. But now they are scrambling, they behave like a wounded lion, and you know what wounded lions do? They're going to scream and scratch and growl and want to see who they're going to fight.
Interesting. We know the Middle East is fighting again, and this time around it's not just a fight, but the fight is getting bigger. And it's of no news that oil prices often react immediately to instability in the Middle East. So, Mr. Ejike, how could a prolonged crisis affect the global economy? And is there any other logical way that can be deployed so that the oil prices will not react as these tensions escalate more and more? Though we pray that it shouldn't escalate.
Well, I mean, prayers have its own place. But what has prayer got us? We prayed during slavery. We prayed during colonization. We prayed during presidents abusing their country war. Has anything changed? No. So again, it's a human factor. You got to get up. If somebody slaps you, don't turn the other cheek, punch them. Don't be meek. The meek, they may tell them that you inherit the earth, but God favors the bold. You gotta be bold, and when you are bold, you gotta recognize your strength and stand up for yourself. So the oil thing. I don't know whether you've read a book called "Why We Hate Oil Companies." If you read that book, oil companies have become this sort of corporate giants. Any little thing, they're just gonna use it as reason to jack your prices. It's just the nature of the business, and they take advantage of it. If 20% of the world oil supply comes over there, how come it has such a global impact? 20%. So can we deal with the other 80%? No, we can't, because everybody's going to see and seek ways to exploit a situation, and then they're going to use it. Say, oh wow, oil, this is boom. You go to the pump, and then you got 20 cents on the dollar for more, or whatever it is in naira. So again, I'm just about the Middle East. Iran is the poorest of all the countries in that region. That have oil. Look at what the Saudi have done with their money. The Kuwaitis, the Bahrainians, the Omanis, the UAE people. They have done well, but look, so Iran somehow is angry. They are jealous because they haven't focused on themselves. They have focused on attacking America. They're focused on saying, "Oh, we're gonna, debt to America, and then we're gonna support Hezbollah and Hamas." These people are not contiguous to you, but somehow you have stretched your own imagination that you are the defender and the supporter of those people, fighting Israel. And then I'm saying they've been doing this since 1947, something years. At what point, like my mom always said, how many times will something happen to you before you wisen up? So the world economy, since if it's like that, then again you go back to being what self-preserving. You go back to have shock absorbers, so that what other people are doing don't impact you such that you are going to lose control of your own country. Again, look at my analogy about the fire across my house at my neighbor's house. What should I do first? Go help my neighbor put it out, or go and defend my own house? As I said, I am territorial. I use my personal ways to say, if I was in leadership, that's what I would do. I would defend the area that I have responsibility and jurisdiction over. I don't care about everything else. I can participate in the conversation to see what people are thinking and what they want to do. But my main focus will be to defend my territory. That's what they call territorial integrity. And yes, we live in a global village, but we still have individual countries. And the most important responsibility are individual countries, not the global village. Again, I said this to you guys one time. I'm my mom's only son, and my mom said the village didn't get her pregnant, and the village is not going to raise her child. She took responsibility. I'm about responsibility. I'm about what it is that I need to do for me to have a sense of living that makes me feel the way I do, as opposed to what are we going to do? What you do is important because if the I is not strong, the we doesn't really matter. So that's why you focus on strengthening your base. And if everybody around you strengthens their base, then you have something to protect. But if you are just all over the place, oh, it's the global thing, let's go to UN, let's go this and that. No. Secure the plate before you clamor for the pan. That's just me. Territorial, self-centered, self-preserving, but I'm not selfish. You can't take anything from me that I don't want to give you. You come into my home to try to dictate to me and my wife, I'm going to fight you, even my in-laws. I make that rule. Don't come here and inject yourself into the way I live my home. And I take that very, very seriously, and it's my own personal constitution. You don't come into my home and dictate. And so, that's what nations do. You defend your territory. You defend your, in America, we have a law we call stand your ground. Somebody tries to take you down, you stand your ground and you fight.
That's great. Thank you, Mr. Ejekiopa, for that. Now moving on, we know that this escalation in the Middle East affects Nigeria a whole lot, and it affects us in several ways. Talking about the oil prices, it affects us in terms of investment, security, food inflation, because Nigeria depends heavily on oil exports, but also imports the refined petroleum products. So now, could this conflict become both an economic opportunity and a challenge for our country, Nigeria?
Of course, Nigeria is not properly structured. Nigerian leadership is more about transaction and about transformation. Nigeria don't import crude. So if what is it? Oil started being produced in Nigeria in the 50s. So what is that? 79. 79 years. No, 40. 69 years or something. That oil been produced in Nigeria. And then you ask yourself, how come Nigeria don't have local refineries to refine the amount of oil Nigeria needs? The excess you don't need, you sell. So that is a way you could have shock absorbed your situation and prevented anything happening outside of your territory to affect your people. But Nigerian leaders don't think that way. Nigerian leaders are not structural, strategic thinkers. They just, oh, okay, just like now, I'm sure they are blaming the insecurity in the country because of something that has nothing to do with Nigeria. Just because the leadership is lousy. They're looking for things to justify how lousy they are in what they are doing to Nigerians. So let's look at oil. Oil is a commodity. So you produce how many barrels a day? Okay, let's say Nigeria produces 2 million barrels a day, which is they haven't done in more than 10 years or something. Okay, so you ask the question, how many barrels of those do you need to refine to satisfy the domestic need? You don't need to refine all 2 million barrels a day. You probably need to refine, half a million barrels a day. So if that 500,000 barrels are going to Nigeria, either government-owned refinery or refinery that are privately owned, but you're subsidizing the cost of the crude to them, then the excess you have of 1.5, it goes to the open market. You sell it at the market at the price that is good for you. So you would have, if you take up this sort of attitude, you would have shock absorbed and protected the Nigerian consumers from any serious issues. But if Nigeria was like India or China, where they import a lot in order for them to satisfy their domestic need, that's an issue. In America, we are a net exporter. So occasionally, yes, we have shocks in price go up and down, but it's not like where it's shaking things up. Of course, Americans are known to complain, when there's a little penny up on what they think they should be paying. But in the case of Nigeria shouldn't be worried. Nigeria should, if the refineries, when I was in Nigeria, there were 3 refineries, the Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna, and Nigeria was doing well. We weren't importing, and then we weren't importing any refined crude, because again, back then you look at how many cars were in Nigeria, so the domestic need wasn't much. But now you have many cars, but you have added Dangote. But Dangote doesn't own the crude. Dangote is a private enterprise. So he has to buy the crude just like everybody else. And when he buys it just like everybody else, there's no pass-through benefits to Nigerians, except if the government were to say, okay, Mr. Dangote, instead of selling this crude at $80 per barrel, we're going to sell it to you at 70. So that's 10%, that $10 difference is a benefit for Nigerians, or whatever that is. You don't have to really give them cash. You just lower the price you would have gotten if you were to sell it on the open market. That's how that's how you can deal with subsidies. But what Nigeria has done was to give cash subsidy. And when you start to deal with cash, you expose yourself to a whole lot of corruption, a whole lot of kickbacks. And, of course, Nigerians love those money under the table kind of deals because it's cash. Cash is harder to trace. So, back to your question is, how do you protect a country like Nigeria? My interest is in Nigeria because, I have ancestry and roots there, I have friends and family. I don't live in Nigeria. I haven't lived in 40 years, and I'm not coming back there. But, what happens there concerns me because, that's my roots. That's my family. Those are my people. So I'm always like, what can they do differently in order to help themselves? But you can't help yourself if you're not even thinking strategically and structurally in order to do what's supposed to make a difference for the life of your people. Instead, it's like, oh, our crude oil, what is going on in the Middle East? What is going on in the Middle East is not affecting you. You can import in any crude from the Middle East. You're not importing any crude from anywhere. So you focus on how do you take advantage of the natural resources you have, and it's still a shame that 200 and something million people, which is what Nigeria is, and then you're producing less than 2 million barrels a day, and you're still oil dependent. Oil brings in more money to Nigeria than any other sector. It shouldn't be. If you take out the oil revenue of Nigeria and look at what Nigerians contribute to survive as a nation, it's less than $12 billion a year. Because the total budget of Nigerian government is 70% oil. So revenue-wise, if you take out that oil, then what is left is the other revenue the government generates from other activities. It shouldn't be. By now, oil should have been like less than 10%. The other activities, other revenue sources would have overshadowed oil, so we don't even have to be talking about it. It's just because oil as a natural resources, which nobody did anything, is easy for them to make money out of it. You look at all the presidents. Obasanjo never had an oil minister. He did that. He managed it by himself. Then he skipped to Jonathan, what is his name? Yaradua and Jonathan. Jonathan had that, and then he was lousy because Dizani, did what Dizani is, even though the court has said, oh, she didn't make any money. We all know better. And then you come to Tinubu. Tinubu don't have an oil minister because he wants to run it himself. And the Nigerian National Assembly has allowed it, because if the Nigerian National Assembly is a responsive assembly, they say, Mr. President, you should have appointed any person. You should have one, because that's part of the constitutional requirement. But no, they keep quiet, and the presidents do whatever it is they do. So the oil prices in Nigeria shouldn't be choked because of that, because Nigeria is a net exporter and not an importer of crude. And it's just because they haven't, their Nigerian leadership don't think strategically. They use the excuse of whatever is happening outside of Nigeria to justify, the poor way they are leading Nigerians. And that's what it is. You have heard about global warming and global thing, food insecurity. There's no food shortage or insecurity in Nigeria. It's just that they haven't developed a system to preserve. You go to the market, your channel is about consumer issues. You go to the market and look at the waste, fresh produce that are wasted. If you bring in tomatoes from the north before it reaches Lagos, it has been on the road for maybe 2-3 days, and tomato is less than 24 hours in a tropical weather would have lost shrunk. Banana, yam, vegetables, the things that are staple foods, also staple food for Nigeria, they get wasted. So now somebody will say, oh, climate change. It has nothing to do with climate change. It's just management. They haven't managed the process to make sure that at least a truck full of tomatoes or yam or plantain of it, that before it leaves the source of production to the market, at least you can retrieve 90%, and not where you are getting less than 30% benefit. So if that is the case, you're going to have hunger, you're going to have food insecurity, because a lot of it is wasted. So, these things are not very complicated. What is complicated here is people don't have the willingness and the commitment to do it. And I say, no, Nigeria should not be drawn into this drama. Nigeria should, we're going to self-preserve and we're going to protect. But now you see that everybody, because it's their justification, my mom used to tell me, a bad farmer will always blame the weather. Whether it's too cold or too hot, I can go. There's no perfect weather. There's no perfect anything. You just manage it. If people can live in Alaska, I'm sure you guys know about Alaska and Siberia, where they get less than 4 months of sunshine and still have a thriving economy, how come people in a tropical weather are not able to do it? Where you have sunshine, you have rain, you have you have soil that is still fertile for you to grow stuff. It's because, again, excuses. So Nigeria deal with the excuses, they don't deal with the reason. Because when you start dealing with the reason, then you can see where you are missing something, where you are lacking or lagging. And at that point is when you're going to say, okay, fine, so how do I make up this void? But no, they just, everything is excuse. Oh, we are colonized. Oh, we are enslaved. Oh, the white man ain't gonna let us do it. Oh, the Chinese are doing it. It's always somebody. Somebody's always responsible for something going bad in Nigeria. Just like when people die in Nigeria, they don't even do autopsy. They say, oh, this woman, na juju woman, we don't kill her. But nobody goes to go in and say, hey, what's that illness? Is it genetic? Is it something bad? Lifestyle? No. Excuse.
Now let's bring this in quickly. What role can African nations, most especially Nigeria and the African Union, play in promoting peace despite being geographical distance from this conflict? Because in one way or the other, we are benefiting from, there.
Well, the sum of the parts is what's going to make the whole look strong. So when you talk about Africa, you're talking about 54 African countries, and which one is strong? Of all the continents in the world, is it not 7 continents? Who can you name one viable, vibrant African nation? Is this South Africa? The reason South Africa gave the attention it's gotten is because of what the white people did. It wasn't the black people that turned South Africa to what it is. I mean, now that the black people have taken over since 1992 or 1994 when Mandela became president, what have they added? So the AU, ECOWAS, SEDAC, and CFA, all of those people, CFA, CAF, the Central African Republic, whatever they call themselves, what have they done? So the African people haven't produced any credible leader that has reputation on the global stage. When you see a white man, when you see an American president, you see a white brand. They have built a reputation, plus or minus on that brand. So where is the black brand? When you look at the president of Nigeria, who do you see? You don't see a Nigerian. You see a tribal man who happens to be the president of Nigeria. You don't see a Nigerian because they're going to let you know. They're going to let the world know, I'm Yoruba, I'm Igbo, I'm Hausa, I'm Shekiri, and this and this and that. That's what they project. And when you project tribal nature, you don't get attention. That's how the world civilization has worked. So Nigeria has to do a whole lot of internal searches and internal remaking in order for them to step out. And if they step out because of their size, if the expression Nigeria is the giant of Africa, but how big a giant is it? Just giant because of size, but it's not a giant because of quality. Because in Nigeria, a lot of things are not there. The basic infrastructure you need to live a good life is not there. You don't have water system, you don't have sewer system, you don't have good railroad network. Public safety is a challenge. For you to go from Lagos to about a distance of less than a distance of 80 miles or 80 kilometers, it takes you hours. So what is it that Nigeria, if you look at the 10 sectors of an economy, where is this shining example for Nigeria? You guys should be doing that sort of conversation. Name 10 sectors of an economy and where is Nigeria shining, based on the fact that they say they are smart people. Is it in banking? Is it in power delivery? Is it in civil construction work? If Nigeria needs a whole lot of physical things to be built, but who is building it? If a Lebanese man is building the coastal highway, the biggest public work contract to be given in the history of Nigeria, to a Lebanese man, what does it say about the capacity of Nigerians? Or is it because it's one of those transactions that whomever awarded the contract, in this case, Tinubu, there's a benefit to him, and Nigerians haven't said a word. How many Nigerian companies have gone to anywhere and built something like that? If you're going to give other people the opportunity to do things for you, are they giving you the same opportunity? By now, Nigerian construction companies owned by Nigerians, not supported by Lebanese, Indians, and Chinese, and all these other people, should be the one building Nigeria, not somebody from outside. Because going pouring concrete, grading it, and calling it a road complex can that be? It's not complicated. It's for a civil engineering student can do it. But what I'm just saying is that Nigeria needs a whole lot of, look back, internal searches in order to come and say, you know what, we have misled ourselves all these years. It has nothing to do with the tribal identity. We just have to become a nation and not just a tribal entity. Tribal people
Interesting.
don't build successful.
All right, Mr. Ejike, because of the time that we have, it's limited, so we have to touch some very sensitive areas in just few minutes that the last few minutes that we have on this program this morning. So, from a security perspective, could a wider Middle East conflict create new global terrorism or extremism risk? Let's have your take on this for just few seconds.
Yeah, it creates it because again, terrorism. What is terrorism? Then people leave their particular area. It's no longer a formal war where it's soldiers in uniform fighting each other. Then it becomes people, bad actors or state actors sponsored by their own government or by some organization who look like you and I, who will come in there and cause you harm. It used to be when you had a war, the soldiers, there's a boundary, there's a defined area. But now you don't know where the war is, terrorism is. Just like you have seen in Nigeria for the past how many years. People come in and they drop the bomb, or people come in and they commit something. So it's no longer the uniformed people doing it, it's just people that, look like you and I. So yes, there's a fear for that. But, terrorist people will only find places that they find weak spots, and then they will take advantage of it. They've done it in America. Then we beefed up our security. Like especially airplanes, because they saw that was a vulnerable way. Boom, they took advantage, and then now you see how that led to changes. So bad things have always led to changes in the way you look at things. That's why we have camera systems now. Even like in my home, if I'm not here, through my phone, I can monitor who comes around my house, and then I can call the police or say, "Who are you?" and all kind of stuff. That's what insecurity has led to us. Most places are not. There's no safe places. Maybe in I don't know, North Korea, China, I don't even know, or Norway or something. But then you're always going to be on the alert. So yes, the Middle Eastern thing is going to enhances terrorism because there are people who are angry, and then they're gonna come to America and they want to attack America. But they cannot attack America on a military basis, though they use these other ways to inflict injury, but they're not going to succeed because we know their game, and to be forewarned is to be forearmed. That's why we have our defense budget is the biggest in the world. No other country has as much money as we have to defend ourselves as America. Because public safety, a sense of it, is crucial for investment. If people don't feel safe where they are, they're not going to invest. So in case of Nigeria, you could see that. Who is investing in Nigeria? If people are not, people don't feel safe. Nigerians don't even want to invest in their own country.
All right, Mr. Ejike, we have to let you go this beautiful morning. But before we let you go finally, in just 1 second, I want you to be brief about this. If diplomacy does prevail, what lesson should world leaders learn from this crisis to reduce the likelihood of future regional conflict? In just 2 seconds, please.
Say that again. If what happens?
If diplomacy does prevail, what lesson should the
world
leaders
learn?
Okay, the question is, if diplomacy does prevail, what lessons should world leaders learn from the crisis to reduce the likelihood of future regional conflicts?
Well, if diplomacy, prevails, and then people will go and look at it. Okay, what did they do and what did they say that made everybody agree to do something? That's the benefit. Then does it mean you can copy that and go do it somewhere else? Not necessarily. You just say, "Oh, okay, this is how they did it." But would it happen in my own case? Again, use the example of Chinelo and Tunde, marriage. If it succeeds for them, does it mean Nwankwo and Ngozi is going to succeed for them? Those things is not a cookie cutter. It's not an imposition. You can't just take this and do that. You just say, "Oh, okay, that's what they did. Hopefully, it will work for me." So that's what happens. You are always going to be learning. Nation building and leadership is not one time. You are constantly, being tested. It is the test of leadership that really matters, as opposed to just being in office. What are you going to change? How are you going to change it? Are you going to change it by introducing new law, or are you going to enforce the law that is on the books? Sometimes those are the calls that needs to be made. And once you do that, you have to constantly on your toes. It's 24/7, 365 days. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. It's not like you get a degree, you shut it down. No, you keep learning and you keep changing and you keep adapting, you keep readapting, you keep even walking away from things in the past that you thought worked well. There were things I was doing when I was in Nigeria. I thought I was on top of it. And then I came to America and said, oh, drop that. It doesn't work here. So that's what the human being needs to do. The geography of your existence dictates certain things you do, but that certain things you do, you have to do it by comparing and contrasting. If you're not comparing and contrasting in life, you're not going to do better. They'll say, this didn't work for me, and then it's not working for us. They'll change it. But when you get caught up on this, our tradition, this is how we've been doing it, and then you get stuck in it. And that's oftentimes the biggest thing about the Black people, or Nigerians to be exact. They get caught up in our tradition. This is how we've been doing it, and doing it, and doing it. And they're fine. This is how you're doing it. How you have been doing it hasn't given you a better lifestyle. You just get stuck in the same way. So you got to improve. It's a new and improved, and that's what diplomacy is going to be, new and improved.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the program this beautiful morning, Mr. Ejike. We hope to see you on more editions to come. Have a productive month of August and have a fruitful week.
You too, sir, and good luck to you for what you guys do.
Thank you for joining us once again. Bye.
Bye.
And that was our guest, Mr. Ejike is a global affairs analyst, joining us on the conversation about the Middle East at a crossroad. Can diplomacy prevent a wider regional war? Because this issue happening right there, we thought it has subsided, but now it's escalating and the fight is becoming, more and more. And the Middle East remains one of the world's most strategically significant regions, and development there continue to influence economies, diplomacy, and security across the continent. While the military actions may dominate the headlines, history has shown that a lasting peace is most often achieved through dialogue, negotiation, and sustained international cooperation. Thank you for joining us on Perspective this beautiful morning. Join us again for another edition as we continue to examine the issues shaping Nigeria, Africa, and the world. I am Ayomi Kunle Eke, and after this, briefly, we're moving into ConsumerHallaTV News at 10. Good morning, Nigeria.
And I am a product manager. So this is a very innovative idea, and first off, everybody is a consumer, and so this is the voice of the consumer, and this is the voice that is going to be heard. For the first time, the consumers in this country are going to be able to express their ideas and to get to know your rights, to know what belongs to you. And it's going to change a lot of branding. It's going to change a lot of things, because everybody knows that we're not just getting things out for the consumers. The consumers have a right to accept. As they say, the customer is always right. So the customer is the consumer, and the consumer is always right. So, when there is control, when there is feedback, there is bound to be change. So so I said, I'm a product manager. When you develop products, sometimes you believe you know what the users want, and through different kinds of surveys. But when the users actually get the product, they can tell you their mind, how the product is, their feeling about the product. So it's good to definitely change how products are being designed, how services are being given to people, because you can get a feedback, and that feedback can make or mar a company, and everybody wants to have good feedback. So it's definitely going to change the behavior of people that make products. One very good thing is information. Information is power. So the consumer is going to get way more powerful. The voice of the consumer will be heard, the opinions of the consumers will be heard, and that opinion will shape how products and services will be made in this country going forward. Be on the lookout. You are now in charge. Several things coming your way through this station. I'm very excited about it. The things he's already brought out, and there will be many more things. But the bottom line, the consumer is now in the driver's seat. So ConsumerHalla TV, thank you for this innovative work. You're going to keep evolving and just follow the consumers. The consumers will lead you to what they want, and that's how it's supposed to be, always. You're going to have different types of consumers, and they're going to pander to the different needs, but you're going to be making consumers very, very powerful. So thumbs up, keep up the good work. My name is Korede Peters. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on ConsumerHalla TV News at 10. I am Ire Ayomikunle Eke. Nigeria exported an estimated 182.2 million barrels of crude oil, worth 24.02 trillion naira in the first half of 2026. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria showed that the total crude production reached 263.65 million barrels, valued at $28.41 billion. And the higher global prices lifted revenue despite local refinery feedstock supply concerns. The figures were derived using monthly average daily production and Bonny Light crude prices, as production started at 45.26 million barrels in January and it fell in February and recovered through June. Monthly export value ranged from $2.65 billion to $5.67 billion. The elevated international crude benchmark prices significantly boosted national earnings throughout the 6-month period. Meanwhile, the export volumes tracked output closely across the entire half-year review, and the shipment reached 31.31 million barrels in January before dipping in February and recovering steadily through May and June. The financial windfall straightened foreign reserves despite ongoing operational challenges within the domestic petroleum downstream sector. Nigeria's fast-growing digital economy faces a major challenge as operator works to convince consumers that online platforms are safe. The Microsoft Chief Security Advisor, Carissa Vama, warned that consumers' trust is now critical infrastructure. She noted that user confidence will determine if digital expansion yields sustained economic growth and rising cybersecurity threat across financial network. A study by the Global Anti-Scam Alliance revealed 84% of surveyed Nigerian adults encountered scam attempts past year, and 22% suffered financial losses, while only 4% reported incidents to law enforcement agencies. This finding underscores significant challenges surrounding regulatory enforcement, digital safety, and consumer reporting mechanism. Businesses, commercial banks, and technology firms must now embed cybersecurity into their core customer experience structures. However, protecting user data is vital to prevent loss of consumer confidence and maintain growth across the nation digital ecosystem. The sustained investment in defensive infrastructure remains essential for the long-term sector development. And also the Office of the Vice President, where the Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, and the World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala have arrived in Asaba for the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit. Governor Sheriff Oberewari received the delegation at the Asaba International Airport. The summit aim is to drive economic transformation, boost investor confidence, and foster strategic business partnerships. The Senior Special Assistant on Media to the Governor, Sai Success, confirmed the arrivals in an official statement yesterday. The Vice President will address attendees on how reforms under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu renewed up agenda unlock the commercial opportunities. And a speech will highlight clear pathways for private sector investment across key states set. The event brings together government leaders, international investors, and development partners to explore investment potential in Delta State. The discussions will center on infrastructure, agriculture, and industrial growth. And recommendations from the summit are expected to shape future regional economic policy and private sector engagement. And we move away from there. The trading on the Nigerian Exchange Limited ended mixed for the final week of July 2026 as profit-taking dragged key index lower. The all-share index fell 0.84% to close at 245,283.68 points. The market capitalization decreased to 158.326 trillion naira. Despite the weekly retreat, the market turnover surged to 404.762 billion naira across 5.119 billion shares traded. The financial services industry led activity, accounting for 3.918 billion shares valued at 271.428 billion naira. The services and consumer goods sector followed in activity. Meanwhile, the sectoral performance was largely bearish through the premium insurance and sovereign bond index managed marginal gains. And analysts note that the overall market sentiment remains positive, supported by a strong year-to-date return to 57.62%. And the robust liquidity continues to drive investor participation across high capital equities. Let's talk about the federal government, as the federal government has agreed to supply United States dollars to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery in exchange for naira proceeds from domestic petrol sales. Management sources reveal that arrangement aim is to resolve foreign exchange shortages preventing the refinery from paying crude suppliers. The intervention follows challenges with the initial naira for crude supply agreement. Under the initial framework, the refinery was to receive 13 million barrels of domestic crude monthly, but received less than 35% of the allocation. Consequently, the company imported crude using foreign exchange while selling refined fuel locally in naira. This dynamic exposed the refinery to significant foreign exchange risk, running into billions of dollars. The government's commitment will ensure the refinery receives adequate foreign currency to sustain crude purchases and maintain operations. Furthermore, the easing the foreign exchange pressures on the plant is viewed by energy market experts as critical for national fuel supply stability and local pricing predictability. This minute, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board and the Bank of Industry have launched a $100 million equity fund for indigenous energy firms. NCDMB General Manager of Corporate Communications Obinna Eziobi announced the initiative in a statement, as the fund provides long-term qualitative financing up to $5 million per company. The NCDMB Executive Secretary Felix Ogbe inaugurated the investment committee in Lagos, as the facility aim is to reduce service costs in the oil sector, and it generates the board revenue and also attract external investors to viable indigenous companies. The beneficiaries include the oil field service providers, fabricators, and equipment manufacturers operating within the domestic energy space. By offering equity financing instead of the traditional debt, the initiative helps local service companies expand operations without heavy interest burdens. The management stated that the fund will strengthen domestic participation, increase the local capacity, and support the long-term growth across Nigeria's oil and gas supply chain. Let's turn our attention to the NNPC. Now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited recorded a cumulative profit after tax of 2.275 trillion naira during the first half of 2026. Operational report released on Sunday over the weekend showed that elevated global crude oil prices was driven by the Middle East geopolitical tensions and is significant to the boosting of the state oil firm revenue. The monthly performance rebounded sharply in June, with profit after tax reaching 535 billion naira, and this represents a 15.8% increase over the May figures. The June earnings marked the highest monthly profit reported by the national oil enterprise since January 2026, reflecting a strong operational recovery. Geopolitical confrontations in June raised global supply disruption concerns, lifting the crude prices and national revenues. Although the monthly performance fluctuated across the half year as it sustained oil prices and it was supported overall by the profitability. And now, as it stands, the state oil company continues to focus on production stability to maintain the revenue growth. Nigerian mobile telecommunications sector recovered of its highest subscription level in over 2 years, reaching 189.4 million active lines in May. Data from the Nigerian Communications Commission shows that this is the highest figure since April 2024, following previous declines caused by SIM cleanup exercises. MTN Nigeria maintained market leadership with 96.9 million active subscriptions, representing 51.19% market share. Airtel Nigeria followed with 65.4 million connections, while Globacom and T2 recorded 23.4 million and 3.5 million active lines, respectively. The subscriber growth reflects steady recovery in the telecom market after regulatory deactivations of unlinked SIM cards. The leading operators continue to invest in expanding network capacity to meet rising demand for digital services, voice calls, and high-speed mobile broadband nationwide. The mobile money transaction in Nigeria grew by 81.26% to reach 372.14 trillion naira in 2025. The Central Bank of Nigeria annual report shows transaction volumes processed by mobile money operators rose to 65.77% to 28.74 billion. The central bank attributed the such to expanding agent networks, digital solution advances, and industry collaborations. By the end of 2025, Nigeria had 84 licensed payment service providers, including key operators such as OPay, PamPay, Paga, eTransact, Champs Mobile, Vita Network, Konga Pay, and Fortress Mobile Money. The broad retail electronic payment also grew by 26.07% to 3,458.77 trillion naira. The rapid growth highlights accelerating digital adoption and financial inclusion across urban and rural communities nationwide. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture has opened applications for a $150 million offshore expansion facility. NASIMA President Jani Ibrahim unveiled the digital application portal during the Infrastructure Conference 2026 at the African Tower in Abuja. It was developed with German banking group ODDO-BHF-SE. A facility provides long-term financing at single-digit interest rate for business modernization. The launch was led by Working Group Chairman Waheed Olaguju and NASIMA Digital Economy Coordinator Segun Olubile. The portal digitizes foreign investment origination for local businesses. Meanwhile, funding will also prioritize manufacturing, agro-processing, energy, logistics, and transportation, and 20% reversed for the digital economy. Qualified companies can access financing starting from $10 million. Mr. Olagunjo described the project as a transparent pipeline demonstrating international investor confidence in the Nigerian economy. We're back talking about telecommunications. MTN Nigeria has eliminated its foreign currency loans and positioned itself for a new network expansion cycle. The Chief Financial Officer, Modupe Kadir, confirmed that first half of 2026 results show a retained earning nearly doubled, while the shareholder equity strengthened, ending the reliance on foreign debt and reducing currency risk. The operator invested over 620 billion naira during the first half of 2026 to increase network capacity and also broaden coverage and expand their own broadband. The Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Karturiola, stated that the result reflects a sustained investment in digital infrastructure supporting the national digital economy. Clearing the foreign obligations protects the company's balance sheet against foreign exchange volatility that previously impacted earnings. With financial stability restored, MTN Nigeria plans to accelerate capital expenditure to improve service quality, extend reach, and support expanding mobile data usage across the nation. Before we end the news, Dangote Cement Obajana plans distributed educational materials to primary school publics in Lokoja, Kogi State under its corporate social responsibility program. The General Manager of Social Performance, Ademola Adeyemi, stated that the project follows similar distribution in host communities including Oyo, Iwa, Obajano, and Akpata alongside new health infrastructure project. The initiative follows a needs assessment which revealed many pupils lack basic school bags, exercise books, and writing materials. Dangote Cement supplied learning packages containing school bags, notebooks, pen, and water bottles to enhance classroom learning and relieve financial pressure on families across host communities. He also reiterated, however, Mr. Adeyemi reiterated that company's social interventions aligned with government priorities and focus on sustainable community development. Moreover, over the years, Dangote Cement has invested heavily in local roads, water schemes, health facilities, and educational support programs across its operational areas. Thank you for joining us on ConsumerHallaTV News at 10. Join me by 12 for the media news. I am Iri Ayomikole. Good morning. Thank you for watching.
Based on the recent weather, many Nigerians now make use of insecticide products as part of their daily routine just to keep mosquitoes under check. And now, with several brands of insecticide that we have available in the market, consumers do have a choice. As we always say, this is Consumer Voice on ConsumerHallaTV, where consumers genuinely tell us the brand they use and why they prefer this particular brand without omitting anything. They get to speak for themselves, they get to tell us how they feel, they get to express themselves. And on today's edition, we'll be asking consumers which insecticide brand do they make use of and why do they think it is necessary they are going for this brand and why it is necessary to use this brand. I am Elizabeth Abefe and you're watching Consumer Voice on ConsumerHallaTV. Come with me as we go find out from consumers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so what is your name, sir?
I'm Ola.
Ola what?
Ola Shobulo.
Ola Shobulo. Now, do you make use of insecticide at home?
Yeah, I do.
Which brand?
I'm using DD Force.
DD Force.
Yeah.
How do you get to know about this brand?
Yeah, it was one of my friends that introduced it to me because I've been using some insecticide and they're not working well. So he decided to ask me to go on DD Force.
So apart from DD Force, which other insecticides have you tried using?
Yeah, I've used Rambo and Mobi product. But I guess it's not active the way I want it on those cockroaches and all that.
Okay. Now, how much do you get your DD Force for?
You said how much I get?
Yeah, how much do you get it? How much?
DD Force is 10K.
So how often does it last?
Yeah, because I mix it with like kerosene, so I use it for over a month. Like 2 months.
Okay, so how active does it work? How is the performance of the insecticide?
Very, very active. Very, very.
So I want you to rate this insecticide brand over 10 based on your experience. How well will you rate it over 10?
Actually, if they ask me to rate it, I say 100.
100?
Yeah.
Over 10? That means it broke your scale.
Yeah.
Is there anything you like them to do better?
If I would like them to do any other thing, I would tell them they should improve more so that they can gain more attraction to the product.
So you know the weather is very cold, and because of that, a lot of insecticide, a lot of insects like mosquitoes and fly around majorly during this period. How do you protect yourself?
Do we have a way we protect ourselves in Nigeria? The only thing we do is to make sure we fleet our rooms before going to bed. So 2-3 hours later before going to bed, and I think that's the best, because without that you will have a mosquito bite.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I will.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You look good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Oroluwa.
Oroluwa what?
Adetula. Oroluwa Adetula.
Okay, now do you make use of insecticide?
Yes, I do, but not very often. Like when the need arises, yes, I definitely use it.
So which brand do you go for?
Is it bad that I don't know the brand names? Okay, I just know that there's one that is white and there's one that is green. Those are the major ones that we use.
So how do you get to know about this brand?
I just picked it up with what my family has been using, so I just followed them. I've never tried anyone for myself per se, as it were.
Okay, now you know this weather is very cold and it's an avenue for mosquitoes to come around and all of that. Yeah. How do you protect yourself?
I close my windows. That's the best thing I do. I close my windows, and if the mosquitoes get like really a lot, I try to make sure that I have at least insecticide. And then there is coil. It's a bit traditional. I try to use that as well.
So what do you look out for whenever you want to get an insecticide? What?
This is an interesting, because I've never thought about this before. Right, but what I know, does it work? Right, that's like the most important one, because there is no point of buying a brand and it doesn't give me the value of what I want, right? So it has to get rid of all the mosquitoes.
Now, talking about does it work, has there been a time whereby you switch from a particular brand to the other?
Yeah, multiple times. I'm very sorry, I don't know.
Ask you don't know the brand.
I know the color. There was one that was yellow with white cover and never worked.
Wow.
But it smelled nice. But it didn't do the job. So yeah.
Okay, now if you had to rate the insecticide you've been using over 10 based on your experience with them, how will you rate them?
I'd do a 5, because most of the time I have to add like a supplement. You get, like, I have to do like a coil somewhere. I have to make sure that everything is closed. I even recently tried, there's one that is even electric that is red. I've forgotten what they call it. Right, you plug that as well. So I have like multiple that I try, but if it works, I should only have to use one. You get, so that's how I'll give.
I know you said a lot of things, but if there's anything you like the brand or any insecticide company to do better, what advice will you give to them?
Make it work better. That's all. The mosquitoes in Nigeria are resilient. So please, as much as possible, to ensure that I don't have to look for supplements, right? I can just use an insecticide and then get the job done. But the green one, the one that is green, it works. I've forgotten what the name is. That's just the body cover. Is green. The body is green. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And it's an avenue for you to know your brand. Very important. In case you are being stopped, you need to know your brand.
I will do my best. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You have a lovely smile.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is your name?
Feishayo.
Feishayo what?
Oni Feishayo.
Oni Feishayo. Now, do you make use of insecticide at home?
Yeah, I do.
What do you use them for?
Cockroach, basically.
How often do you use it?
Once in a while.
Okay, now which brand do you use?
Green Leaf is a sachet.
How do you get to know about this brand?
I don't know. I just got to know about it and I started using it.
So apart from this Green Leaf, which other insecticide have you tried using?
I think I know about Raid. I've used Raid. But I don't use it now, but I've used it some time ago, yes.
So is there a reason why you left red to green leaf? Why did you switch?
No reason. I just switched. Not like I switched. Red is mostly used for maybe mosquito.
It kills cockroaches
too. I know, right? But I don't know. I just switched.
Okay.
I learned that sachet one is very effective, and because of the smell, I don't like the smell of insecticides.
Okay.
But that green leaf sachet, whatever, it does not. I just pour it on the ground and it just kills cockroach.
So how has the experience been so far using green leaf?
It's very okay. Like, it's very effective, like I said earlier.
Okay, now I know you said it's effective. What other thing do you look out for whenever you want to get an insecticide?
In what
do you look out for? I know you said it's effective. You said it's effective. Some people will say how it works, how fast it works, and all of that. So what do you look out for whenever you want to purchase an insecticide?
That's what I look out for too. The ones that are effective, and I avoid the smell. I'm very sensitive to the smell.
Okay, now I want you to rate this insecticide that you make mention of over 10 based on your experience with them. How really? Yes. How will you rate it over 10?
I'll give it a 9 over 10.
9
or even 10 over 10.
10 over 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in terms of, this weather is cold and a lot of mosquitoes comes out this period. How do you protect yourself from mosquitoes?
Always make sure your door is closed. And make sure you don't have a stagnant water around your home. I think that's just it.
Okay, if there's anything you like green leaf to improve on, or any insecticide brand to improve more, to do better, what would you like to say?
Well, I would say they should just improve on the effectiveness of their product. That's just it. Just for them to improve on the effectiveness of the product, because the products, we are mainly using the products to kill these insects, to make sure they are not in our homes. So once the product is very effective, then there's no any other complaints.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, so what is your name?
Oh, my name is Tunji.
Tunji what?
That's it. Olamilekon.
Olamilekon. Okay, now do you make use of insecticide at home?
Yes, I do.
How often do you use it?
Almost every day. Let me just say almost every day.
Okay, so which brand do you use?
Randomly. Sometimes Red, sometimes Mountain. There is another one, like, have a green, this thing. As a brand, they have a green, this thing. I don't really know much about it, but...
Okay, now, is there a reason why you switch between brands? Is there a reason why you are not sticking to a particular one and you use this one today, you use that one tomorrow? Is there a reason?
Yeah, I'm trying to check a difference at times, because to me, I don't really see differences from all these insecticides at times. I don't, because if you flit inside the room today, let's say this evening, that doesn't mean maybe all the mosquitoes, cockroach, maybe all of them are die or not. Maybe they find somewhere hide. But to me, it's just like maybe we are putting a perfume. Yes, inside the room. Maybe you want to flit. You need an aroma. All this flit of a thing.
That is what they do now.
They are just like aroma. Yeah, I'm not sure they do what we want them to do.
Okay, now, how do you now protect yourself from mosquitoes? Since you said all of them are no longer effective, how do you protect yourself? This weather now, a lot of mosquitoes comes in more this period. So how do you do it?
I won't lie to you, I'm a local guy. So I normally, at times, if I don't flit, we buy coil. There is this coil, so we put it anywhere in the room. So we on it and we use nets sometimes.
So those are the alternatives.
Exactly.
So I want you to rate this insecticide brand that you use over 10. How will you rate them over 10? Don't be biased.
That's why in the first place I said they are nothing but a perfume. So I don't even know how to rate them. Let's say I would go for that too. Red and Martin. So let me give Martin a 6 over 10. Why Red will take like 7 over 10.
They're not effective and you're still giving them 6 to 7.
Because when you use them, they work for certain minutes. Yes, you won't see anything. But later, I believe when the powers of this thing that go down, now be seeing all my families from one corner to the other.
Okay, so how affordable is it? How much do you buy them?
It's very affordable. Not that much.
How much do you buy
the last time I bought it's not 3,000 plus. So and I use it for like, let's say I can use it twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Okay, now how do you protect yourself? What advice would you like to give to those making it, the makers? For what do you want them to do better?
I think they need to, I don't know, because before this weight of a thing is very powerful. And if there is one big one, I've been looking for that big one. Big one is very effective. That way, I don't know how they go about it before. They are very strong, but suddenly, I believe the quality of this just dropped. Same thing with the Martin. Just dropped. I don't know. Maybe it's our economy that caused this. I can't say, because I can feel it. They reduce a lot of things.
So, if there's one thing you want to say to them right now, what would that be?
I believe they should do more. They should try, at least, no matter what. Because of their brand, they should forget about their brand. I believe they should focus on their name. So they should work on it. They should work on it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, I'm good.
Okay, so what is your name?
I'm Azan, Dr. Azan.
Dr.
Azan.
Dr. Azan. Nice. Oh, you look good, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now, do you make use of insecticide?
Yes, I do.
Which brand?
Raid.
Raid. For how long have you been using Raid?
For as long as I can remember, over 5 years, sir.
Over 5 years.
Yes.
Have you ever switched from Raid to other?
I've used Sniper before also, and I've used Tomb.
So is there a reason why you are now sticking with Raid?
Not really, because I think that's what I'm used to. Whenever I go to the store, I just pick the one I'm used to. Nothing serious.
So share with us your experience ever since you've been using this brand.
It's just mostly kill mosquitoes and insects, cockroaches. So it does what I want. Whenever I use it, I'm really like seeing good results.
So how effective is it?
If I'm to rate it over probably 10, 8.5.
8.5?
Yes.
How affordable is it now?
The one I got last was 4,800. Yes.
So how does it last? How often do you use it?
Not every time. Mostly if I'm traveling, or if I'm going to like stay long, maybe from morning till night. Let me just say twice in a week, twice in a week.
So you know this weather now, it's a very cold weather, and we have a lot of mosquitoes that troops in, particularly this weather. How do you protect yourself?
By not opening the door and by using this insecticide once in a while. So, and because of the gutter and the old bushes and the cold weather also, so just by using those insecticides and by shutting the door closed, like I said.
Okay, now is there anything you would like this brand to do better? Because we've met many people saying, oh, some brands is no longer effective and all of that. If you are to say something about a brand to do better, what would that be?
More like, I think I would prefer if they make it in a way that we can breathe inside, or like be indoor and fleet and still be indoor. Because that one is not, I know there are some fleets that are okay, if you use it you can stay in the room, but this particular one you can't be in that room and it's very, very conk. So if they can just reduce the the concentrated thing inside. I think that's just it for me.
But don't you think it would be harmful to the body if one?
I think there's some insects that you can stay inside the room after fleecing it. So that's just it though, for me. I don't think there's anything you need to work on. But people might have opinions, so I'm speaking for myself.
Okay. So what do you look out for whenever you want to get an insecticide? What works out for you to know that, oh, I'm sticking with this brand? What works out?
Nothing actually. I don't have a chemical that I'm looking for inside.
What about effectiveness, affordable, last longer?
Does the job, the smell?
The smell is awful as usual, but the effectiveness, yeah, like I said, I'm used to this particular one, and the affordability is just for it, and it's quite big a bit, so it's affordable. I think those are the things. You already said it all. Those are the things we look at. So, yeah.
Okay, in a doctor perspective now, what tips will you try to give to people viewing this show right now? What they could do to avoid all these things, malaria and all of that, not to.
It's a kind of parasite that you can't avoid in this Nigeria, because if no matter how you like keep your environment clean, to still be in some part of the houses that you can't neglect. So you just have to like keep your environment clean, your clothes, where you package your wardrobe, your cupboard, everything. So just make everywhere as clean as possible, and your environment also, like, it matters, because it invites mosquitoes once you have no dirt and everything around. So just stay clean.
Stay clean. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You have a lovely smile.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Esther Fakoya.
Okay, now do you make use of insecticide?
Yes, I do.
Which brand?
Read a Dream.
Read a Dream. How do you get to know about this brand?
Well, I've worked in a pharmacy before, so I get to know all of these things. Yeah.
Okay, now how often do you use them?
Really, I do not use Read a Dream like that, but I just use them whenever the needs come.
Okay, so apart from Read a Dream, which other brand have you tried using?
Okay, I've tried using Ritz, but I think I prefer Read a Dream.
Is there a reason why you switch from Read to Read a Dream?
Personally, I just feel like Read a Dream works better.
Okay, now speaking about effectiveness, how effective is Read a Dream?
Read a Dream is very, very effective. Yeah, very, very effective, because I've been using Read a Dream now for like close to a year or more than, and I can say for sure that you should use Read a Dream. It works.
So what do you look out for whenever you want to get an insecticide?
Whenever I want to get an insecticide, just do the needful. I want to get rid of mosquitoes in my house. I want to get rid of cockroaches in my house. So why am I supposed to use an insecticide if you will not give me what I want? I want to get rid of all these things, and Read a Dream should take care of it for me.
Okay, so I want you to rate Read a Dream over 10. Based on
10. Can you allow me to make 10? Yeah, 10 over 10 to Read a Dream. I love Read a Dream a whole lot. It works.
Okay, now, why do you think it is necessary to protect yourself against mosquitoes?
Oh, I did mention that I am a health educator. So, of course, you should protect yourself from all these harmful insects, because, especially mosquito, you don't want to get down to like having malaria, all of these diseases and the rest. So you should protect yourself. Very, very important. As a health educator, I am telling the community now to protect themselves from mosquitoes, especially in this kind of weather that we have now. Everywhere is wet, everywhere is piled up, dirt around. So please take care of your environment and use insecticide to prevent mosquito.
I was about to ask you, okay, give us a tips on what to do to avoid mosquitoes, but then you've mentioned
health educator, so I do this often. Use insecticide, use mosquito nets as well to prevent mosquitoes. You don't want to get sick, you don't want to get malaria, you don't want to get sick. Let me just say that.
Okay, now, is there anything you like this brand to do better?
Read a Dream? Nothing for now. Maybe moving forward.
How affordable is it?
Oh wow. it's well, to some extent it is affordable to some extent. I really do not know, because I don't get them myself. Yeah, I don't get them myself. So I don't know how much.
How does it last?
It depends on the usage. It depends on how often you use it. You can get a bottle now and then it can last for like 2 months, 3 months. It depends on how you use it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma.
You're welcome.
As rainy season season continues, many consumers make use of insecticide to keep mosquitoes under control. But as we have various insecticide brands, some consumers are loyal to a brand while others keep exploring. And we've heard directly from consumers why they think it is necessary for you to use insecticide at home. To my greatest screen again, I am Elizabeth Abefe. Do it to like, comment under the comment section which insecticide do you use and why do you think this insecticide is a better option for you. Bye for now.
My name is Tunde Olufowora. I'm the CEO of Brand Communications. We are we call the publisher or the owner of the new initiative called ConsumerHallaTV. ConsumerHallaTV is actually Nigeria's first consumer-centered, or call it consumer-centric television platform that aims to bring voice to the over 220 million Nigerians. It was a vision that came to my heart about 10 years ago. I remember that I was traveling. I traveled out of the country, on airline. And I had this unpleasant experience. It was a trip to an African country from Nigeria, and I actually went with a local flight from Nigeria. I wouldn't want to mention the name of the airline. And then it was to South Africa, and we landed in South Africa. And let me just paraphrase it. When I was coming back, I had some money, some dollars, and that someone had given to me to hand over to another person in Nigeria. So I wanted to help out. I didn't want to carry the cash on myself. So for whatever reason, I had a small case, and I felt that it was safer for me to put the money in my luggage. So I put it in a safe place in my luggage, got everything intact, and I checked in my luggage. My arrival in Nigeria, I was standing and was waiting by the carousel just so that I could pick up my luggage, and then I was there for 1 hour and waiting for my luggage. I didn't know that my luggage already arrived, and it was one of the luggage that was moving around on the carousel. So after about 1 hour wait, I looked to my left and my right. Almost everybody had gone. I think there were just about 2 or 3 left. So I beckoned on the woman that was on my side, and I noticed she was really in tears. Madam, what happened? She said, her bag has just been torn and a lot of things stolen. So I said, well, I've also been waiting for my own. She said, you better go and check those luggages there. Maybe yours is one of them. And lo and behold, I went around there. Mine was one of them. By the time I got it, everything inside my luggage was gone. All the valuable things there were gone. To cut the long story short, we felt there was need for us to report the case, at least to the airline. It was in the night, about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. We went in to go and see the officer that was in charge. As soon as we got in there, the officer said, "Oh, so sorry, but you will have to go to our head office in somewhere in Victoria Island, to lodge a complaint." Okay. So the next day we went to the Victoria Island and we lodged a complaint, and that was it. And since that day, I'm talking a story of over 10 years ago, I didn't get a call, not even a call from that airline to talk to me about what happened to my luggage. Now, about a month after that trip, I had another opportunity to travel out of the country. This time around it was to US, and it was an official assignment. And I flew on, I will mention the airline this time around. I flew on a BA. I really didn't like BA. I usually go with Virgin Atlantic and things like that. But my protocol officer convinced me and said, okay, you will love BA. Why don't you go on BA? Anyway, so I went on BA to US. And of course, when I returned from US to Nigeria, we had to do, of course, there'll be like a connecting flight, from Heathrow. So we got into London Heathrow, and then because it was through Heathrow that we went, and then so they changed since it was BA, they changed the aircraft this time around to a bigger one. I mean, clearly because there were more Nigerians, or more people that were planning to come to Nigeria, and then we boarded. Not quite 10 minutes into the flight, in the air, the aircraft started malfunctioning. The air conditioning compartment were not functioning very well. I was on what you call business economy. The whole of that business economy all the way to economy side, the ACs were not working well. It was hot. And then I was watching. And then from that moment till we got to Nigeria. From that moment till we got to, I'm just trying to paraphrase. From that moment till we got to Nigeria, I could remember very well how many times the pilot, broke into conversation and had to apologize and say, we're really very sorry about this. He was giving us almost every 30 minutes. There's always a kind of update. So sorry, this is what we're doing now, this is what we're doing. While we were on that journey, I also remember an incident. So they came, the crew apparently couldn't resolve they couldn't manage the crisis or what was going on about it. They couldn't fix it. So they come up and said, we're so sorry, but for all the inconvenience, we're declaring, free lunch, free whatever it is you want, you can get. So trust Nigerians, you need to hear how everybody was jubilating, But something struck me. The experience I had just about a month before, and this experience, somehow I started comparing them. I was trying to see how this matter will be managed. Again, to cut the story short, we landed in Nigeria on the BA. Before we landed, the pilot announced and said that for the inconvenience, they will be giving a voucher of £50 to everyone that flew on that aircraft. I thought it was a joke. I mean, it was my first time with BA, but for what I knew or know of the British man would never even play with his 1 penny, talking of £1. So I felt that must be a joke of the year. So we left. I got back to my office. I think it was just about a week after. My officer, our guys in our mail room came up and said, "Oh, you have a parcel." So I said, "Parcel? Yeah." So they bought this parcel wrapped. I opened it, and boom, I bought the document out. It was the £50 voucher from BA. So what's the tenor of this story? An experience with one airline was terrible, no apology. An experience with another one, even though it was a bad experience, but it was very well managed. So managed that even if we have suffered anything in that aircraft, you probably, for the sake of how they manage it, will have forgiven them. So that was how this journey started. So I started thinking, my mind, this is what we go through in this country. But are we different from other nations? So God put in my heart the idea of ConsumerHalla. That's why the Hala came with consumer. And we started that journey about 10 years ago. We started by creating a platform called ConsumerHalla, where consumers, so I discovered that Nigerian consumers don't have a voice. So things happen, and that's it. We live with everything. So we've started the journey from creating the platform. We have an app, we even have a magazine, and we thought we could move it from that to the next stage, which is the television. So the TV today, has come. So I would say precept by precept, line upon line, we have been able to build on our aspiration, to finally bring to birth this unique and exciting platform, So it's a digital telecast, and our goal is to further connect consumers in Nigeria to brands with insightful news, development within the fast-paced world of consumers. The world of consumers is growing at a very fast pace, So we want to inform Nigerians. We want to get them educated about their rights, So our role is that we're going to educate consumers in Nigeria, all right? So by bringing them specialized and what you call analytical, research-based content generation that will inform, educate, sensitize the audience, So that's ConsumerHalla TV. So I call it an offshoot of our ConsumerHalla brand. ConsumerHalla brand actually was the first we call it the first complaint or consumer complaint resolution portal. When we started it about 10 years ago, or about 7 years ago, it became the first complaint resolution portal. We created it so that Nigerians can actually lodge complaint on that portal. We spent a lot of resources to build a very robust platform where today, if you have any complaint, about any brand, any leading brands in Nigeria, and you go on that platform, you can actually click, just a click, you can find the brand, you can actually lodge your complaint, and once you submit it, that complaint will be routed to that organization, and within 72 hours, we will obtain feedback for you. We build it in such a way that we have connection to almost all the organizations, and it's been working. We've resolved several complaints for people without having to charge them any penny, because the idea is not to charge. So what we have done with ConsumerHalla TV is to take it to the next level. So we hope to change the narrative. We want to give the right direction. Nigeria has the largest consumer market in the world, with a population of over 220 million people. Why should we be the one that is suffering the most? Everywhere you turn to, it's as though Nigerian consumers don't have a voice. You're traveling, you buy a ticket. For whatever reason, an airline will wake up middle of the night, delay the flight for whatever reason, and then you'll be waiting at the airport for hours. You'll be there for 2 hours, 3 hours, no any explanation. Then while you're there, they can even wake up and say, oh, flight has been cancelled. So everybody carry their luggage and go home. Nothing happened. Of course, things are changing. We must commend government because government is beginning to wake up, but there's still a lot to be done. And we believe that we can help to make, bring about those right changes. So we offer deliberately, part of what we do is that we also offer advocacy, all right? We're not just an advocacy organization, but we offer advocacy. We have a legal team, we have lawyers that are registered on our platform, all right? that can also take up cases. Okay, so and we've taken up many cases like that, and won those cases. So ConsumerHalla is a platform to help consumers to, we're not fighting brands, but rather we say we're bringing about an amicable, resolution of conflict, such that it will be beneficial to the consumers and also be beneficial to the brand. I remember the word of Jeff Bezos. Bezos is the founder of Amazon. He said that the most important single thing, all right, for an organization is to focus obsessively, use the word obsessively, on the customer. We often say that customers is a king. They should sit at the top of the ladder. In our environment, customers are the ladder. A brand wakes up today, decide what product to produce. They wake up today, decide how much the consumer should pay. They wake up to decide everything for consumers. So consumers are just at the receiving end, and yet they are milking the consumers. There's no price regulation in this country, none. People just wake up and fix prices. Look at the power. Government wakes up, we change policy, we wake up and we get people to pay more. We think it's time for consumers to begin to speak out. In speaking out, in engaging, we can get the brand to begin to do what is right. And of course, I know that the consumers themselves need to be educated. So our role, our vision also is to ensure that we educate consumers, we bring awareness. A lot of Nigerian consumers don't even know about their rights. You buy a product from a supermarket. I've had this experience. You buy a product from a supermarket, all right? For whatever reason, you take that product back to your house, and maybe something went wrong somewhere. By the time you take that product back to the shop where you bought it from, and you say, Oga, this thing, you know what's going to tell you? Oga, na me make am. Let me make am now. That's why I buy am. Meaning that there's nothing I can do to the product. So you lose the product, then you lose your money, because the money is not refunded. The product you can't use. Only in Nigeria. Only in Nigeria. Let me give you another experience I had. In the course of this, because I did a lot of, I went around, in doing this. I was in US, I was in UK, I was in South Africa, I was in Germany, just because of this, to just study the environment. I was in a friend's house in UK, in London, and then what happened? We were going to go out, and he was going to dress up. So he said, oh, to me, I was seated in his sitting room. So he said, oh, wait a minute, I picked up an iron, that's the present iron, 2 days ago or so from a store. Oh, let me try this, let me just try and use that to iron my shirt and we can go out. So I was seated, the TV was on, I was watching. While I was watching, he brought out the pressing board, spread it out, brought the iron out in my presence, plugged in the iron, and then as soon as he switched on the power button, we just had a spark. Boom! Ooh. The guy was raged. Then he goes, what just happened? So he said, no, these guys are in trouble, they're in soup. I was thinking, what are you going to do? I was trying to compare that experience to what would have happened in Nigeria. In my presence there, he opened the pack. There was a card inside it. Inside that card was a call, number to call. And he called the shop or wherever he got the thing from. I was hearing the conversation that was going on. And all he said to them on the phone was, look, by the time he even called, clearly because they already, through the call, they could trace where he was calling from and who was calling. He said, yeah, I picked up this number, I picked up this iron yesterday, And guess what? I just plugged it to power, and then the thing just, stopped. Didn't work. At the other hand, I could hear the voice. Oh, we're so sorry. We're sorry about that. And they said, this is your address. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get you a replacement. All right. So my friend handed the call and dropped the. So I said, so what's going to happen? He said, don't worry yourself now. Shebi, we're here. They will bring a replacement. I said, they will bring a replacement. He said, yes. I said, they won't even try to check whether it was your fault, because it could have been your fault. Maybe you didn't do something well about the first. No, it can't be his fault. Now, Shebi is a brand new item that he bought. While we were still talking, in fact, I'm not even sure it was up to 30 minutes or so. We had a knock on the door. He himself said he must be the dispatch person. By the time he opened the door, it was a dispatch man that was on the other side. And then the dispatch man was at the door. Just watch this. Was at the door. I was seated in the sitting room. The guy was at the door to meet with the dispatch guy. The dispatch man that brought the replacement iron, I heard him say, we're so sorry. So I was so shocked. I mean, a dispatch man, this guy is a dispatch. So also apologize. I was so touched by it that even a dispatch man was so trained, to tell the guy, we are so sorry. And guess what? He brought the replacement iron. By the time my guy opened the iron, it was a bigger size iron. So they replaced with a bigger size iron. The guy never asked for the one that went back. He didn't say, okay, where is the other one that we gave to you, so that he could take it back? No, he just brought a new one and gave it back. So I asked my friend, I said, can you interpret this to me? He said, here in London, if they didn't do this, they know the next thing I would do. So I'm just going to grab a lawyer, and I'm going to tell them they've destroyed something in my house. By the time I'm done, they will pay through their nose. Because the consumers are conscious of their rights. In Nigerian consumers, even those who are aware, won't even take the battle up. Everybody just go, what can we do now? Today they wake up and ban this. What can we do now? So we're going to change the narrative. We have to stand up. So the vision of ConsumerHalla TV is really to create an engagement platform that constantly mirrors the minds of consumers and provides right connections for meaningful brands in Nigeria. Thus, we believe, will be forming part of that our overall vision, of creating a more caring world of consumers where businesses thrive. So, I think that we'll make our impact. We ask you to join us on this journey. ConsumerHalla TV will drive engagement. It will also be there to help to promote brands that are doing what is right. So we're not out to criticize any brand. Rather, we have to complement what the brands are doing, because there is no organization that or a business that was set up to fail. Nobody set up a business to fail. So there are just gaps that need to be fixed. So together we can fix things, and together we believe that we will create the right story for consumers in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Hey there, do you know in the world today, everyone is a consumer, and as consumers, we all have the right to be heard.
In Nigeria today, as a consumer, you have all right to product information, right to fair pricing, right to return goods, right to product labeling, right to fair dealings, and a lot more.
Well then, have you heard about the new media channel?
ConsumerHalla TV.
ConsumerHalla TV.
ConsumerHalla TV.
At ConsumerHalla TV, our goal is to inform and educate consumers in Nigeria with insightful news alongside development within the fast-paced world of consumers through well-researched, specialized, and analytical content.
Our vision at ConsumerHalla TV is to create an engaging platform that provides right connections for meaningful brands in Nigeria, thus creating a more caring world for consumers where business thrive.
And guess what? Our ConsumerHalla brand is the first consumer complaint resolution portal in Nigeria, powered by a 72-hour feedback mechanism. We offer consumer advocacy, informative talk shows, branding promotions, advertising, and lots more. Connect with us via our YouTube channel at ConsumerHalla TV. Follow us on our Facebook page, ConsumerHalla TV, our Instagram page, ConsumerHalla TV, and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscription is free. ConsumerHalla TV. At ConsumerHalla TV, you deserve to be heard. At ConsumerHalla TV, you deserve to be heard.
And welcome to Healthy Living. This is another beautiful Monday to stay healthy and alive. This is the program where we bring to you, separate earth fats from meat, and you get you to be educated, where we separate healthy fats that you need to know from meats all around, and we provide you with practical knowledge to help you live longer, healthier, and better. I am Remofeko Foworola, and today we are discussing something many people rarely think about until it is too late. So why wait till it is too late before you think about it? So we are talking about the silent habits that gradually damage our health, not just your health but everyone generally. Unlike infectious diseases that often come with obvious symptoms, conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart diseases, fatty liver disease, kidney disease, and even some cancers can develop quietly over many years without warning signs. So the frightening reality is that the habits responsible for many of these diseases have become part of our everyday lives. Think about it. Sometimes we skip sleep, you sit for long hours, you eat ultra processed food, you ignore stress, you should not drink enough water, and you avoid routine medical checkups. So these are the things that we see. And if you look at it, health truly is wealth, and if you do not pay attention to your health, all of these things I've mentioned, at the end of the day, you begin to see them, you begin to have effect on you. So that is why it is very important you drink enough water. Look at it, people would not drink enough water. Sometimes they suffer health challenge, and if you eat too much of ultra processed food, or you sit for too long, all of these they have their side effects. And interestingly, according to the World Health Organization, non-communicable diseases account for nearly 74% of all deaths globally. That is, when you talk about diseases that they are not communicable, they are not transferable from one person to the other. So it accounts for nearly 74%. That is a whole lot. And with a lot of diseases, claiming lives all around every day. We have cardiovascular diseases alone claiming almost 18 million lives every year. Here in Nigeria, hypertension affects millions of adults, yet many people are unaware they have it because it often shows no symptoms until serious complications develop. So here's our question for you today. Are your daily habits protecting your future or quietly putting your health at risk? Let's find out if it is. Let's find out which one is for you there. So the health crisis we don't see, most people associate illness with pain or obvious pain or discomfort sometimes, but many chronic diseases begin silently, quietly. You do not even know that you are suffering one ailment or the other until when it begins. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer because a person can live with dangerously high blood pressure for years without experiencing headaches, dizziness, or other warning signs, and that is so painful. So diabetes may come and quietly damage the eyes, kidneys, nerves, and blood vessels long before it is diagnosed. Do not wait before you are diagnosed. Fatty liver disease can develop even in people who don't consume alcohol, often as a result of poor diet and physical inactivity.